Okay, hello Arcanauts and welcome to the stream. Just give me a second while I get this all set up. Oh, it's actually working quite well. Immediately, that's fantastic. Did I see the post, Moth? I don't think I did. I apologize. I will very quickly open up the browser now and check. Let me see. Somebody sent me a message. Oh yes, there it is. The new meta. Oh, you posted a deck. That's right, okay. But you didn't provide any comments or anything with it. So it's not really surprising most people didn't respond. They seem to like, comments and introductions and things like that. Somehow everyone missed it. It did get a bit buried. It did, yes. I'm looking at it now, though. It's interesting, I'll say that much for it. Nago is an interesting choice. Most people go with G11 if they're going to dump one of those guys in there. A lot of mutants. But yeah, interesting. I wonder, how does Black Knight work next to Arcus Diabolus? Because it's kind of a targeted, not targeted thing. Interesting. Well, I like it. Run it in today's subscriber battles. Aha. Put that over there. Tea for the throat. Aha. It's kind of a joke deck. You probably should have mentioned that in the comment in the post itself. I think most people will take it seriously. Oh, that's surprisingly nice. Okay, let's see. Couple of gifts from BlueZeb and Banker Mafia. Thank you very much, guys. If you're watching, I really appreciate it. It all goes towards cards, which in turn go towards making videos. Excellent. And thank you as well to Gioconda, who has recently been blowing up my inbox with gifts. I really appreciate that. You're also started uploading videos like Nexus, have you, Neon? Well, link it in the chat. Where's the thing? Yeah, on the screen. It's down here in the chat. And I look as beautiful as ever, do I, Nibnib? Thank you so much. Wait, while I just wave my hair back. Have you noticed the waistcoat? Because I'm drinking tea from my throat, so I figured I'd just go completely English. Yes, perhaps I should do the rest of the live stream with this accent. What do you think? Oh, I generally don't like tea very much, but this is not bad. Lemon, honey, and Earl Grey. All right, he said, immediately breaking character from his English nobleman. Okay, yes, actually before we do anything else, I promised Joseph, as well as Christian, that I would link... Oof, actually that's a long URL. I'm going to link something in the chat. It is... Where's the small URL? It's a petition to encourage... There we go. To encourage DevCat to finally create the English language version of the MABINOGI Duel client. So the actual URL is too long, so I'm just quickly shortening it here. That should be it. If it doesn't work, let me know. But that should be the link to the petition. Hello, Francesco. Steve Rogers, as everyone else may know you. Cheers. Okay, so in keeping with the title of the video, we're going to go through the just a little setup chatty stuff while everybody comes and settles down. One of which is the petition thing that we settled. I just linked. I'll link that a couple more times during the live stream. And then we're going to start talking about the new meta that's been created by the BlazBlue cards, what you guys should be looking for, what you should be worried about, and whether or not we can expect any nerfs or any buffs to any particular card, which is going to be exciting. I mean, I think everybody can already name the BlazBlue card that's already hit the meta the hardest. Comment in the chat box with what you think that card is. First person to guess it right gets a toast. There we go. In the meantime, head to that petition link that Mr. Zero or Joseph in the chat created. Sign it. I have no idea if it'll make any difference, but hey, it's worth a try, right? In the meantime, I will just quickly switch this over. Number 13 says Yarrow Dragon, getting right in there. Yes, well done, Yarrow Dragon. You get a toast. Let's see. Norwegian. Let's go Norwegian. Kippis Jakulaus. Yeah, interesting, Francesco. You hope they buff Yukianeska. Oh, I cannot get these names right. Yukianeska Sword and Rachel. You hope they don't nerf 13. Yeah, honestly, the chances of them buffing or nerfing any of the collaboration cards is very, very low. I wouldn't worry about it. I know that somebody was saying in the subreddit that number 13 is going to get nerfed. It's really, really unlikely. In all the collaboration generations except for C1, which is a glitch, basically. But in C2, C3, CLO, TBT, all the rest of them, there have only ever been 3 cards that have been altered. They were all nerfs. It was Ash, Dust, and Mistletoe. So they haven't done anything to Skathach, they didn't do anything to Orisha, they didn't do anything to Seigi or Bluesy Floozy or any of these other cards that have actually had a big impact. So it's really unlikely that they're going to nerf any of the BlazBlue cards. It's very, very unlikely. They might, but the chances are they won't. What was I doing? BlazBlue. Yes. We actually, I did manage to get a hold of Rachel. So, it's not great. Unohana, thank you very much for the gems. I appreciate it. They did, Future Moss, what are you saying they did about? They did nerf cards? Yeah, they nerfed 3. Oh, Karam. Yeah, I forgot about Karam. Yeah, they nerfed Karam really quickly. I think he was only out for like 2 days before they went, oh crap, and just destroyed him. Poor Karam. It was less to do with Karam and more to do with the fact that he combined so ridiculously with Zombie Combiner. And you need to buff Possess, Tilt, Admission. You need to buff a lot of these cards. Well, they don't need to, but it would be nice if they did. Anyway, yes. That was the nerf of the century. Yeah, it really was. Karam was... They just absolutely nuclear bombed Karam into the ground. He went from like the most used card in the entire game to never touched by anybody. Wait, Chara like from Undertale? No, Karam. Not Chara. It took you 5 tries to get Rachel. That's not bad. And then nerf Dust and Ash. Yeah, I said that. Ash, Dust, and Mistletoe were the 3 nerfs that they kind of thought about and then implemented. But then they just kind of destroyed Karam. What happened with Karam is not going to happen with number 13. Now, she might be nerfed. Maybe. I'm not saying that she won't be. But she's not going to be nerfed in the way that Karam was nerfed, and certainly not for the same reasons. A lot of people are using number 13 in their decks now, but she's not the linchpin. She's not this incredibly overpowered card like Karam was. Karam was ridiculous. Number 13 is just a very useful card. If they haven't nerfed Skathach, they're not going to nerf number 13, is my thinking. Why they nerfed Mistletoe is beyond me. She's equally popular. She's not as popular as Karam was. Karam was everywhere, and he was the core of the decks that featured him. It was him and Zombie Combiner. Number 13 is just a really nice addition. If they haven't nerfed Illurin yet, they're sure as hell not going to nerf number 13. Illurin is way more in need of a nerf. What was Karam's ability I think you mean pre-nerf. He wasn't in MD then. Oh, Karam, I don't even remember exactly what it was, but he spawned creatures who then protected him, and he was really low cost, and the creatures actually had pretty decent attack and HP value, and you just keep on summoning them over and over again. And it worked really well next to Zombie Combiner, who again got a massive, massive nuclear bomb of a nerf. It was ridiculous. Yeah, he just... Karam was basically a hypercharged number 13. Cheaper, if I remember correctly, and what he summoned was more powerful and more useful. You don't remember the Karam card, yeah? Most people have just eliminated it from their minds. It was horrible to have to deal with that. Can I see you, Francesco? I can't see you. I can see what you're writing. What do I think of the Battle Force Nada? I like Battle Force Nada. Really, really good card in PvG. Although I've never really been able to make him work properly in PvG, but I know he's very good there. I think he's in a fine place at the moment. Very powerful in PvG, in Ghost decks. Not quite so good in PvP. You can make him work, but he's too easy to remove. Persona Diva needs a buff. She was bad right out of the pack. Yeah, I agree with that. Persona Diva is so interesting. She's such an interesting card. That she can manipulate energy from all these other creatures and things like that. So, so cool. You could use her with so many other cards if she wasn't removed by a sneeze. Is there a maximum number of cards you can actually own in this game? Loot Goblin? No. No, you can keep going basically until your phone's memory fills up, as far as I'm aware. Can I explain how the free sword works? Yes, the free sword is supposed to work this way. You play the sword onto one of your creatures, and it freezes your creature. And then the game will look for whatever opponent creature is closest to your frozen creature, and it will freeze that creature. If that enemy creature is already frozen, then instead that creature is destroyed, and a different enemy creature chosen at random is frozen. It's not working right now, currently, though. You can use the Mukro sword, and it won't freeze your friendly creature sometimes. I don't know why, but you can see it happen in my Monday video, my BlazBlue video. Bluesy Floozy was like 1 million plus, now she's like 500,000-ish. I think it's number 13's fault. Yeah. Honestly, Bluesy Floozy's never been... It's a bit weird to say. She's never been as good as people think she is. She's a useful card, she's a decent card, but she's never been this kind of force of nature that a lot of people see her as. Which is evidenced by the fact that you just don't see her in the high platinum decks, generally. She's a good card, she's a very useful card, but she's not this powerhouse that a lot of people seem to have sort of gotten to their heads that she is. So I think now number 13 rather than coming out onto the field and kind of capturing everybody else's attention, Bluesy Floozy's just kind of flittered away. Can you see the card of Karam? Yeah, I was going to actually link it, but I don't know why, because I actually have Karam here. Hold on. You bought Segi for 20,000. Ooh, that's a hell of a bargain. Elria, nice. Nice. I think that's going to make Sloth a little bit jealous. He was really happy about picking his up for, what was it, 800k you got it for, was it, Mott? Karam. Okay, now this is obviously post-nerf. We have no record of him pre-nerf, no photographs or anything like that. But this is what he does now. So, now he's more expensive than he used to be at 6, and I think his attack value and HP value were dropped. I'm not sure about that. Summons Karam's henchman at the end of a turn. Now, what used to be that he would summon this henchman at the end of every turn, and the henchman's stats used to be higher. You got 800k, you're still pretty happy, but yeah, 800k is still damn good for Segi, absolutely. But getting Segi at 20k, back when they were first released, before people really knew how good he was. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, and Karam's henchman didn't used to have that has 1 energy, disappears if the energy is 1 or lower at the end of the turn kind of thing. Karam's henchman used to just hang around indefinitely. Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to sell it, it doesn't really matter what the worn quality is. I pick up a lot of my cards at 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4. I tend not to pick them up at 3 out of 4 and 4 out of 4 because at that point the art is just so ugly. But if I'm just looking to make videos out of it or just looking to try it out, then no reason not to. None of these cards are really really limited, truly limited. So you can get like a bunch of very low-priced, high-worn value cards, build a good deck, get up into platinum in the arenas with it, use the money and the cards you get from that to then go back and buy at 0-4 all the cards you actually want to keep. Yeah. 20,000 is... 800,000 is a steal for Seigi. 20,000 is ridiculous. Jin's destroy effect triggers at the start of the turn, so the mermaid and the other Vindictus card that freezes won't work with them. Yeah, Jin is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Need to use another Jin or Snow Titan to make him destroy creatures. No. No. Yeah, Karam is terrible now. He used to be fantastic, Francesco, but he's terrible now. No. Say give 200,000, 20,000. Yeah, Jin is going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, for everybody who doesn't know what Jin's exact effects and cost and whatnot is, I'm just going to quickly link the... yep, there we go. I'll quickly link the database card into the chat now so you can check him out. He's a very intriguing card. But I'm not... It remains to be seen how the meta reacts to him. He's like a more offensive variant of Undini Okora. Whoever said they got Sake of 20k is lying. The lowest you can get set him is 50k. It might have meant 200,000. Anyway, yes. So Jin destroys all frozen creatures and freezes the nearest enemy creature every turn. If killed by the opponent's spell or ability, then destroys all frozen enemies and freezes the remaining enemies. Now you can have an interesting effect with Jin, Kisaragi, and the Dark Ice Golem. Not the Mana Ice Golem, because Jin's already way too expensive. But the Dark Ice Golem played on the right-hand side of Jin has the potential to be very interesting. It's a shame that Jin's ability only activates on opponent's spell. Kills him. Because you could so easily create a really nice little combo with like a Dark Ice Golem and Ritual of Darkness onto Jin, but it won't work, unfortunately. You want it so bad, the Jin card. Yeah, well, you only have to wait, what, tomorrow? Tomorrow's coming out. Oh, you want the Dark Ice Golem. Yeah. I think I have one, actually. Let me just check. I think I picked him up ages ago because he was one of those cards I was intrigued by. Ice Golem. You can't post a link of your channel. Just click your face to see your channel. Okay, well, I can't click your face because it's on a separate link thing. But yes, everybody who wants to see Neon's videos, click on the link, check him out. You all know he's a good player. You've seen him fight on this channel before. Oh, I don't have him. That... really? I could have sworn I had him. Am I thinking of something else? I don't think so, though. Golem, then. We just search for Golem. Oh, maybe I have him on my other account. Maybe somebody's been stealing from me. Oh well, never mind. You're late, Tishnik? Well, yes, but only a little bit. Welcome to the stream, anyway. You've only seen one person use his hero, and they actually because of his ability. Joseph, I'm not entirely sure what you're referencing there. You have a normal Ice Golem. +3 seems unlikely, but that's the opposite of what you need. Just costs even more money, yeah. Did I give them away at some point, Alkir? I may have done. I do give away a remarkable number of my cards, I'm realizing. I come back to see, you know, to like grab cards for videos and things like that. It's just like, meh. Lucas, have I been champion in PvP? I think I was once. Way back when. Way back when. I tend not to aim for top 10 in PvP anymore because it's really just a grind at this point. It's really about... It's more about how much time you can put into it than anything else. Most of the best players in the game that I know of don't get into top 10. They just get like 12 or 18 straight win streaks and then just stop in the high platinums. There's Dark Mana Absorbing Golem. Maybe I got confused with that. No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, you know, it's possible. I am an idiot. But I have a really, really clear memory of picking up a Dark Ice Golem. Jin's hero ability. Oh, you mean the actual hero thing? Can I repeat the combo of Jin and Golem? Because you're on the phone. Well, as I said, there's a possibility for something interesting happening with Jin and the Dark Ice Golem, because the Ice Golem charges up every time an enemy creature is frozen. So if you play the Dark Ice Golem on the right-hand side of Jin, and then Jin, that kind of protects Jin from being removed by spells, because if your enemy removes Jin with a spell, Jin's ability activates and freezes every single enemy creature on the board, and Dark Ice Golem charges up his ability. Now, I'm not saying it's, top 10 viable or anything like that, but it's an interesting possible combination. Unfortunately, Jin's ability will only activate on when an opponent's spell kills him. So you can't use Ritual of Darkness or anything like that on him to deliberately trigger it, which is a shame, because that would have been so good. But you got Vampire Dorian +1 today, Tishna. So heavy on resources, yeah. Unfortunately, at this point, pretty much all the vampires are bad except for the standard vampire. Shadow Vampire is okay, he has his place. But all the other vampires they're just not that good. You can make decks with them, but they're just not great. Which is a shame, because they have some pretty interesting effects. Cheers. Still, at the moment, to be absolutely fair to the vampires, nothing is good except for Illurin, because Illurin kills everything. So, so yeah, don't worry about number 13 getting nerfed. So while Illurin is hanging around in its current form, number 13 is not going to get touched. Okay. So, yes, alright, so that's that. Let's talk about the new meta. Bronte is so cool, even if she's not viable. I agree. The vampires are really awesome. I like them, and I like the Vampire Hunter cards, but I like them more for the idea of them than the execution, because they're not useful. But I love the idea of Vampire Hunter Eve. I love the idea of Vampire Vesh. But they're like the Succubus cards. A really cool idea, very interesting effect, but just unworkable for the most part. They need to make an ice bomb that works like throw bomb for pieces of the creatures instead of damaging them. Then Jin will be useful because you just have to have the bomb on the right. That would be very interesting, Joseph, but it would also be ridiculously overpowered. Everybody would use that card because it's a transformation, an area of effect transformation card. Are you kidding me? That literally shuts down every card in the game, because there's no card in the game that resists transformation. The only cards that can resist that are cards that prevent like direct target spells, like Jane when she's in the middle of the field, or Nereva or something like that. But an area of effect transformation spell that has no specific target, so cannot be countered by something like Jane, oh, yikes. Everyone would run that card. I agree, it would be awesome, but it would also completely dominate the meta. It'll cost 10. It better cost like 15. That would have to be an ultimate card. Ultimate Ice Spear. There you go, DevCat. Free idea for you. Ultimate Ice Spear. Costs 15, 16, 17 because but boom, transforms everything into ice. Don't think the more BlazBlue cards are not very good. Why, DevCat? Yeah, well, I don't know. I thought it a bit weird at the time that DevCat seemed to be implying they were going to release 66 cards, but I was really excited about it. But no, it turns out they are just releasing 24. They released 22 on the first day, and then the 23rd card on the 5th day, and the 24th card on the 10th day. It's a bit cheeky because it forces people to keep buying the same booster pack over and over again, which in turn waters down the value of the cards. So people aren't going to be making as much money selling BlazBlue cards this time around as they did, selling the CLO and TPT cards. It's a shame, but just be thankful they didn't demand that you also had to have special tickets and things like that, I guess. I mean, it's still a weirdly greedy move, given that it's just so transparent, but that's Ice Ray, is it, Arc? No, you're quite right. Yeah. Does Ice Ray... I have a suspicion that Ice Ray has like a qualifier. I could be wrong though. No, it does, yeah. Freezes all enemy creatures in front of empty slots. No, that's the thing with Ice Ray. So the ultimate variant of that would be just transforms everybody. Just everybody turns to ice. Everybody on the enemy side. Definitely waters it down, yeah. Keep seeing Rachel trying to get used, but you're not sure how good she is. Right, well, we're going to go over the BlazBlue cards now that the meta has had time to settle down, and we'll kind of discuss what's shifted. Most of it hasn't. Most of it is exactly what we said that it was back in the first BlazBlue release livestream. But some cards have settled down into stronger positions. You have a lot of fun using her. Yeah, and fun is the name of the game at the end of the day. So, yeah, we'll analyze the cards now. Bear in mind that this is an analysis from a purely how viable is it for top platinum play. It's not to indicate that you should never play the cards we say are not viable. Play what's fun. That's the point. But if you want to know what's currently very, very powerful and in what situations, we'll go into it now, once I've had some more tea. Okay, so, as I say, most of the cards haven't shifted, but some of them have in fairly interesting ways. So, first of all, the Rachel's Little Minion cards, G11 and Nago. Screen's going a bit slow. Well, we'll struggle through. So G11 and Nago, they haven't shifted. They were bad. They are bad. The only time to ever use them is with Rachel, and you'll use G11 rather than Nago as a general rule. Simply so they're not battling for resources, but also protecting Rachel from spells is just more useful. And Rachel's ability is more likely to bring out Nago if you're using her in the normal situations. V3, V13, V3, number 3. Bleh. Mostly qualified in meta. I don't know. PvP round, 20, top 1 player used. Rachel could be bluff card. Could be bluff card. Almost certainly a bluff card. Rachel Alucard's personality is not really shown. That makes you sad. Yeah, it's always a shame when they don't really dive into much depth. Anyway, G11 and Nago were bad, are bad. If you're using Rachel, then you can use G11. Don't really advise Nago. But again, Rachel herself, and we'll get into this, isn't really super competitively viable. Nirvana. Next up. Interesting card. If you've seen my BlazBlue deck from Monday, I'm actually quite enjoying using her. Without Carl next to her, she is a level 3 play. Don't play her at level 1 or level 2. But at level 3, she actually is a pretty decent threat. She's basically a slightly more aggressive Goblin Bomb Squad that absolutely requires an answer, but is terrifying to try to deal with, because you kill her and she pretty much destroys everything that's in front of her. But if you don't kill her, she'll just keep doing the area of effect thing. So she's a card that puts your opponent into a bit of a no-win situation, and that's very cool. Arguably works better next to Carl Glover, but in the right deck she can work by herself. Next up is Mukro. She's a Shark Bomb Squad mod. Yeah, basically. Mukro. Now, we kind of got into liking this card during the live stream, and it looks like the rest of the MABINOGI Duel community has actually agreed with us. It's showing up in a lot more decks now. Carol only boosts the most one of her and not all. I don't really know what that means. Yeah, so Mukro's actually really good, especially right now that it's bugged and half the time it won't actually freeze your friendly creature when you use it, which is wah. You only boost the leftmost, and not all of her. Okay. Next up is Lichi Fei Ling. Very, very good card to deal with aggro decks. If somebody's like really big on the hidden spiders, ambush vines, skeletons, all this kind of thing, flying swords, all these level 1 bam 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 plays, literally just shuts that down immediately. You play her, she'll kill the thing, she'll jump back, she'll kill another thing, she goes crazy. So she's actually surprisingly decent. She gets removed by almost anything, but because her cost is pretty decent, 2, 4, and 5, you're not really losing too many resources when she gets taken out. And if you can trade her for like 2 enemy cards, then fantastic. You know, you play 1 card, it kills 2 enemy cards, your opponent has to play a 3rd card in order to kill her. They have spent way more resources than you just did. Mukro can be used to heal or reset your card. Neon, yep, good point. I hadn't mentioned that, but yes. If your card has been affected by negative attack values, or it's weak or whatever, you can just Mukro and it'll go back to normal. You can also use it on a captured card. If you pull a card over to your side of the field with capture, you can use Mukro on it, and when it comes back after being frozen, it will have its full attack value once again, which is pretty awesome. Tsubaki is the same as Lisa Lovelock. Only difference is the arrow. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. U+2 with Fang. Okay. I think you're just saying random words now, Joseph. Tsubaki is kind of the same as Lisa Lovelock. She's a bit more Mage Marie, Archer Mari, but yes, she has aspects of Lisa Lovelock in her as well. She's not brilliant in every situation, but in certain situations, she's absolutely fantastic. I really like her. Next up is Hazama. He hasn't changed at all. He was bad. He is bad. Nobody's using him. Taukaka is up next. Taukaka is unfortunate. People really want to use her, really want to like her, but she's just not good. And it's a shame, but she's just not good. The main problem with her is that her cost to just spikes. It doesn't go 3, 4, 5. It goes 3, 5, 6. Her attack value increases by 1 between levels 1 and 2, and then not at all between levels 2 and 3, and her HP is 4 at every single level. So, given that her HP is 4 at level 3, no, she's just bad. She's just bad. V13, well, I shouldn't actually be saying V13, because it's not V, is it? It's new. It's the Greek symbol, apparently. So number 13 is like Turk, always 7 sword in the middle, great with moving cards, yeah. Number 13 is basically the new Masked Field, the new Magician Masked Field. It serves the same purpose. Yeah, as Tishna says, yeah, it's more like the Magician Masked Field. Neon, you'll use Hazama. Okay, if you can use Hazama to good effect, that would be fantastic. I would love to see that, I really would. Because he's very, very interesting, but just too expensive. Just too expensive. Next up is Platinum the Trinity. I really thought she was going to be good, and then people pointed out in the live stream that when she summons a cat, she summons it on your opponent's side of the field rather than your side of the field, and unfortunately, that sucks. So, no, Platinum, unfortunately, was bad. Is bad. Ragna, it's lowercase n in Greek, Alkir, yes, and it's pronounced, for some reason, New. I don't know why. But I actually did some Greek research, and apparently, yeah, that kind of sort of slanting V is pronounced New. Pretty cool. Anyway, Ragna, the Blood Edge. He's one of those cards. Taukaka's good at first turn rush. If you're building a rush aggro deck, then sure, put Taukaka in there. But I'd argue if you're building a level 1 rush aggro deck, you're kind of doomed anyway. The meta right now is incredibly anti that. Everybody's got an area of effect spell. And you're just not gonna, it's not gonna work against the Japanese players anyway, because most of them have Trap in the Castle. Hello Azim, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it rhymed. Aha. Anyway, yes, Ragna, interesting. Card has the potential to be good, but nobody so far has been able to actually unlock his potential. I know that Lexar over on the unofficial forums was saying that that Ragna has got the potential to be like, A tier, B tier. But whilst his ability is really, really cool, the rest of his stats don't support it, unfortunately. He's not going to survive long enough for his ability to make any difference in the fight at the moment. Can I help you? Yes, Azim, of course. What do you need help with? Can I buy your Flame Lord Nurgle? I'm afraid not. I've got to keep all of my gold and gems in order to buy current cards so that I can keep making videos with stuff that's currently meta competitive. But if you leave your shop code in the chat box down below, I'm sure somebody will be interested and they'll buy it for you. Platinum can summon the summoning bomb and make yourself unable to resurrect, Joseph. Yeah, she can screw you up. Next up, Interfectum Malus. I really like this card. Really super good potential card. It's basically like one of the only cards in the game right now that can shut down Illurin, which is awesome. But it's just really good. If you're very good at predicting, this is an excellent card. If you're not good at predicting, it's not so great. It's not S tier, but if you do have good predictive skills, if you're used to the game, if you're a veteran of the game, that kind of thing, then this card is amazing. So good. Next up, Tsubaki, which we've already kind of discussed. She's not going to shake up the meta, but expect to see her in a number of decks because she does have a very interesting combination between Mage Miri, Archer Mari, and Lisa Lovelock. Her ability is very, very intricate, very, very tricky. You won't see her all the time, but expect to see her most of the time if your opponent is running gold and looks like he's packing BlazBlue cards. Next up is new, not V, I've discovered, number 13. Now, she is the current meta darling. If you don't have number 13, get her. Get 2 copies, if possible, and then everything else after that you can sell, but make sure you have at least 2 copies for your very, very young, because she works great solo, but she also works great by herself. Hello, Han, welcome to the stream. But yes, this card here... This one, sorry. This card here is the meta darling at the moment. Out of the BlazBlue cards, if you have to pick one, pick her. She's amazing. You can use Lady Share to counter Hakumen's spell. Do you mean Hakumen or do you mean Interfectum Malus? But yes, you can bait out the Interfectum Malus, absolutely. But most people don't expect it, so they won't bait it out, basically, which is pretty cool. If you're talking about actual Hakumen, as in this guy here, then I mean, yeah, you can bait him out, but he's just a bad card. So, but I think you mean the swords. In which case, yes, you can use if you see somebody discarding into light and you think, Interfectum Malus, then yeah, you can bait it out with Share, and which is really what Share is mostly used for, and always has been really, is to bait out cards. For you, Ragnar is good only for a finisher? No, he's not a finisher, because his ability drains HP, but it doesn't damage HP. And his attack value is too low. He's not a good finisher. He doesn't have the ability to move anybody out of his way. He doesn't have any immortality capabilities. He has no way of boosting his own attack. He has no self-survival or self-defense mechanisms. He's a bad finisher. Looks more like Gamma, not new. Well, apparently it's new. Can I sell you Persona Risha Azim? No, I'm afraid not. Armor Rebaware was bad, is bad, terrible, terrible, terrible. Mu is, yes. Micro. It's a symbol for micro as well. Bang Shishigami. This guy is in a really interesting place right now. The community, the veteran community, seems to be kind of split, like right down the middle of him. Half of them say, wow, this guy's pretty good, not S tier, but pretty good. And then the other half of them go, nah. I'm kind of leaning towards saying, this guy's pretty good, but it's mostly because I just really like his artwork. I have to admit, I just think it's fantastic. It's so weird. It's like Super Saiyan, but not Super Saiyan. It's like if Goku was designed by a different games company. That would be awesome. So Bang Shishigami, try him out. Your mileage may vary. He's not meta defining, but he does have his place, so you can give him out. Yeah, Bang's decent. I like Bang. Personally, I like Bang, but I know that like 50% of the veteran player community is like, no. But then 50% is like, oh my goodness, yes. Wow. So it's like, Phoenix Retenjo, this got a lot of coverage. It was very, very popular. A lot of people talking about it on the first day that the BlazBlue thing came out. But we said in the live stream at the time that whilst it looks good, it does have very, very limited applications, and the meta does seem to have kind of backed that up. Most people aren't using the Phoenix Retenjo. It's just not worth putting in your deck unless you're running a specific counter deck. Interfectum is good but very difficult to play well. Yeah, because if the enemy casts a normal creature, you lost result. Well, it only activates, I'm pretty sure, when the enemy uses a creature with an ability. But yeah, you have to be really good at prediction. If you are really good at prediction, then the Interfectum Malus works really well. The Phoenix Retenjo is kind of the other version. It's kind of the non-predictive version of the Interfectum Malus. Unfortunately, the current meta is Illurin, and once Illurin's been played, and her ability automatically activates, and after that it's fine. There's no point using the Phoenix on her. So it's, I've got to hear Bang's theme song. I'll either absolutely hate it or absolutely love it. There is no middle ground, much like Bang himself in Mabinogi Duel, apparently. Very well. Remind me by the end of the stream, and I will boot up Bang's theme song on YouTube. Hello Emerson, welcome to the stream. Arcus Diabolus, I like this card, but it, as we said in the last live stream, it's not quite consistent enough to really make it into most people's decks, and I think that's what we're seeing. It's good if you have a deck that works well with this card, but for most people they're just going to stick with Ambush. So if you have it, give it a try. It may work out well for you. But if you don't have it, don't worry too much about picking it up. It's not going to be one of those, surprise, it's everywhere in the meta now kind of cards. Nevertheless, I think over time we will start seeing more people beginning to use it, because it's going to work in the same way as Hikaru Shuriken did. Nobody liked it when it first came out. It took about a month, and then people began experimenting with it when, oh my goodness, this is actually really good. And then Hikaru Shuriken got nerfed, so that was disappointing. Next up, Iron Tiger, who's basically Missile Team. Yeah, Azim, don't worry. If people are willing to sell you an Orisha for 400,000, they'll let you know. That's pretty low price, though, so don't hold out too much hopes. So Iron Tiger is basically Missile Team. And again, I think we're going to start seeing him used like that to shunt things out of the way for finisher damage and that kind of thing. So if you don't have it and you see it for a good price, pick it up. I think we're going to start seeing it more. If you do have it, give it a try. Work it into a couple of decks that used to run Missile Team. Switch the light round for gold. See how it works for you. I quite like him, but I don't really use him personally. But then again, I never really used Missile Team. So, his name same as your girlfriend. Oh, Arisha. Okay, that's cool. Any anti-meta deck? At the moment, there's not really any anti-Illurin deck, apart from other Illurin decks. You can specifically design an anti-Illurin deck if you if you're good at predicting and you know which of the 3 decks your opponent's going to pick, and you're pretty sure that that particular deck is an Illurin deck. You can counter Illurin decks to a certain extent with Free Summon, Cocoon Trap, Stone Curse, Undine, Akora, Eevee, cards like that, Interfectum Malus. But at the moment, there's no deck that specifically punishes Illurin that you can also just use to ladder with normally, which is a problem, because Illurin is just ridiculously strong at this point. The tempo, yeah. He's better than Dras. Illurin is a she, but yes. You only have 400,000, Azim. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, you're going to have to keep saving. You love my... But thank you, Azim. I really appreciate it. In love with Arisha? Well, hey, I mean, I don't know what his girlfriend's like, but the Arisha card is very, very attractive card, so hey. Thank you, Azim. I appreciate it. Okay, next up is Noel Vermilion. And again, as we said in the live stream when these cards first came out, Noel just isn't there. I know that in the line group, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a couple of people were saying, oh, Noel, such a good card, such an amazing card, such a great card, I love this card, I love this card, how can anybody not like this card? The reason why nobody likes this card up in high platinum is that for its cost, its stats and ability are just not there. It's too expensive for the little that it does, unfortunately. You gotta go, Miss Zero, but you're back in 20 minutes, okay? Hurry back. So yeah, Noel's one of those cards that if you really like her, you can absolutely build a deck around her, but don't expect her to be as generally useful as something like number 13 is. You love Arisha very much. I'm sure she'll be very happy to hear that, Azim. So yes, if you don't have Noel and you want to make a viable, like a high platinum viable deck, don't worry about picking her up. She's not going to be important to the meta. But if you like the look of her, you like the idea of her, absolutely pick her up. She's fun. She's just not useful. The same of which can be said for this guy, Arakune, who is super fun to use, but not very good. The fact that he can be removed by Notira's Needle, by Paralyzing Bullet, by Bullet Evolution, he's unfortunately not great. He's not great. You're Malaysian. Are you bad, Azim? Your English is very good. Don't worry, Azim. It's very good. How come Turk isn't meta, Elrian? Because he's not consistent. Here's the thing. Okay, so here's the rule. If Null had higher defense, it would be more useful. Neon. Yeah, if Null had better stats, she'd be more useful. But the fact that her ability just isn't that great, and she can be killed with any 2-cost removal spell, means that and she costs 5 at level 1. Are you kidding me? She's not good enough for her cost. Her cost is like equal to or more expensive than Skathach, for God's sake. So if you're going to go with a light card of that cost value, just go with Skathach or Segi. What am I saying? Yes, okay, so the rule for whether or not something is going to be meta viable, okay? Now, there are exceptions to this, obviously, but here's the ground rule. Here's the basic rule for knowing if something is or is going to be meta competitive. Is it consistent? Will it always do what you want it to do? So, a card like Illurin will always do what you want it to do. You play her in front of an enemy creature, her ability will immediately activate, and at the end of the turn that you played her, she will remove whatever creature is in front of her. There is nothing your opponent can do to stop that, unless they have some sort of transformation trap or something in their grave, but that goes for like every single card in the game. But Illurin is extremely consistent. There's very, very few ways you can stop her. Same with Skathach. She's very, very consistent, very difficult to stop. Same with Segi. Very consistent. He will always do what he's supposed to do. They can be removed and they can be countered, but he will do what he is supposed to do. And there are very few ways of countering him. So Noel is, for example, is not meta viable because she's not consistent. You want her to stay out onto the field. Her ability is mostly to do with being hit by a melee attack and then rebounding that attack back onto her attacker. But that's not going to happen because she can be removed by any removal spell pretty much. So, not consistent. Same with Arakune. Very, very cool effect, but way too easy to stop and shut down. Way too easy. So, not consistent. Not meta viable. Can I build a deck with Apocalypse Zombie in it? If I built a deck with Apocalypse Zombie in it, Azim, it would be a Gates of Hell deck, and I don't do those. I don't run gimmick decks unless it's to show off a new mechanic or something like that. Hello, Rayan. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. So, yes, anyway, that's the general rule for deciding whether or not something is going to be meta-competitive. It's the same with the Arcus Diabolus that you can see there up in the top right hand side of the screen. Very good card, very powerful card in the right deck, in the right hand. It can be amazing, but it's not meta competitive at the moment because it's not consistent. You can't control where the attacks are going to go, so it might work out really well for you or it might not. Mistletoe was very consistent. You played him, his ability immediately activated, shoved everybody out of the way. That's why Iron Tager is actually a pretty good card, because it's consistent. His ability will activate the second you play him. Can I build a deck Apocalypse Zombie? No, Azim, no. That would be a Gates of Hell deck using Apocalypse Zombie and Parnok, and I don't do gimmick decks. I don't think they require any skill, so it's not necessary for me to create videos about them. Next up, Carl Clover. Interesting card. Now, I initially kind of dismissed him because he himself is not that great. However, you got to return to work, Francesco. Okay. Have fun at work, if possible. What was I saying? Yes, so I must admit, initially I dismissed Carl Clover. Sorry, not Carl Glover, who I'm pretty sure is an actor. Carl Clover, I kind of initially dismissed him because his cost is extremely high, his stats are extremely low, and his, there are no other friendly creatures on the battlefield ability is a little bit... However, it was pointed out to me that Nirvana can normally only be played at level 3, but if you're using Carl Clover, you can play him at level 2 and get Nirvana out onto the field, and her ability at level 2 with Carl Clover next to her will be the same as if she was at level 3. And if the enemy is, if your opponent doesn't remove them both, then she'll just keep charging up and get even stronger. So Carl Clover definitely has a position. He's another variant on Magician Masked Field, which is quite interesting. He's got number 13, who's already a variant on Magician Masked Field. Carl Clover is another one. I'm thinking of Crispin Glover. That's who I'm thinking of. Yes, thank you, Moth. Crispin Glover. How the hell I got there from Carl Clover, I don't know. Never mind. I will have more tea. Oh, it's gone cold. Oh, it's nasty. Okay, no more tea. All right, no more tea. We're back to arc juice. What was I saying? Yes, okay. So Carl Clover, interesting, very interesting. A variant on Magician Masked Field, but slightly more troublesome to remove. Build deck Apocalypse Zombie. Azim, I am not going to build an Apocalypse Zombie deck. Apocalypse Zombie deck is a Gates of Hell deck. I do not build Gates of Hell deck. It's a gimmick. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Next up. Better way you think to dominate in PvPs is to rush when summoned and at the end of turn deck creatures. Dr. Cocktail. Yeah. Any creature that has an ability that activates when it's played or at the end of a turn is going to be much, much stronger than any other card whose ability says every turn, which means at the beginning of the following turn. When summoned and end of turn abilities are very powerful, and definitely prioritize those if you're a new player. Loani, why am I drinking tea? Because my throat's still a little bit sore. So I'm also wearing a waistcoat. You see, I decided to just go full on English with it since I was having the tea anyway. Oh. Seriously, what's that juice? That juice is a closely guarded secret and is the source of all my powers. Dark Eyes Golem is now in the shop. Ooh, interesting. Pick it up. If you guys have some stuff, pick it up. Can't change arc juice per tea. Maybe it's arc tea. Now I'll just pour this into my teacup. Okay, so Rachel Alucard. A card that I know a lot of people were looking forward to, especially because, you like the character in the anime and the games, and I don't blame you. She's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, as awesome as she may be in the anime and in the video games, and as cool as she may look, and she does look pretty cool. Who doesn't like that whole gothic Lolita vampire kind of thing? It's pretty awesome. She's not good. I hate to say it, but she's just not good. A lot of people have tried to make her work in a lot of ways, and she just isn't high platinum viable. Now, you can build a deck if you really, really, I mean, as with every card in the game, if you really, really want to force the issue, you can build a deck that contains Rachel, and you can get into mid to high platinum with it. But doing so, you will be doing so in spite of Rachel and not because of Rachel. She will not be helping you get into high platinum, unfortunately. You need arc juice to understand the game, Lonnie. Yeah. Rip Rachel Rayhan. Yeah. It's a shame because she has an interesting mechanic, but too easy to remove. She's too easy to remove. Her ability is not that great. I mean, she can summon G11 or Nago, not both, which is again unfortunate. She can summon one or the other, and then when that thing dies, it deals 4 damage on the opponent's battlefield. I mean, who cares? It's 4 damage. If your opponent's force is going to be beaten by an area of effect of 4 damage, then you were going to win anyway. So, yeah, her area of effect on G11 and Nago death needs to be higher in order for her to be more viable. At that point, you can build a Rachel Alucard deck with both G11 and Nago in the deck, and then you can play Rachel, you can play all of her little minions, and you can actually build a deck around her. But at the moment, with the 4 damage, it's simply not going to work, especially since all your opponent needs to do is remove Rachel first, and then deal with Nago and G11 in their own time. They're no threat. Okay, hold on. We got a bit of thing. Hello, Luani, of course. Yes, welcome to the stream. Hello, Benneth. Don't worry about being late. We're just going over the meta shifts, or how the meta's settled down with the new BlazBlue cards. Check out that deck, Tishna. That doesn't look like a deck code to me. They usually start with like 5FF, but hold on. Or 5F, rather. Let me see. Oh, no, it works. Excellent. Good, good. So let's see, what have you got here? G11, Elephant, Notira's Needle, Ritual of Darkness, Goblin Bomb Squad, Hunt, Vampire Betrayal, Flame Mission, Shadow Vampire, Capture, and Rachel Alucard. So yeah, we've basically just kind of proven my point. That's not a Rachel deck. It's a standard deck that you have put Rachel and G11 into, which is fine. That's absolutely okay. But again, the main cards in this deck that are going to win you matches are not Rachel and G11. It's going to be, you know, the Elephant, the Hunt, the Betrayal Ritual of Darkness combo, the Capture, the Shadow Vampire, the Vampire itself, the Flame Emission. I mean, you could strip out Rachel for a Hellhound or a Skeleton Knight and the G11 for a Leopard, and you would actually have arguably a better deck. And you could leave all the rest of the cards alone. Let's see. Should you sell your Rachel off now, Ashcroft? Personally, I'd say yes. I think if you have more than one, sell one off now, just for a guaranteed decently high profit. For the rest, if you have any extras, keep a hold of them, because it may be that they'll sell for more in the future just because of scarcity value. But if you're asking whether you should sell or keep to play Rachel, then at the moment, anyway, sell her. What cards do I think are going to be nerfed next patch? Pretty sure Luren's going to get a nerf. She's been too strong in the meta, and DevCat has a history of nerfing any card that has been... there's been like more than 5 decks of it in every top 10 in the past month, kind of thing. They did the same thing with Missile Team. Once it had been in the top 10 every single round for an entire month. So Illurin's going to get a nerf. Apart from that, I've got no idea. DevCat's really scattershot with its nerfs at the moment. Very strange. Keep it for investment, says Rayhan. Yeah, if you only have one, keep it. But if you have more than one, sell it off, because as Neon's just said, he was able to sell his Rachel for 1 million. You are not going to be able to sell Rachel for a consistent 1 million like a month or two from now. She's not going to get into the meta. She is not going to be a Scathach card that suddenly soars in value. She's going to drop. You got 3 copies, so you're wondering when to get rid of 2, Ashcroft. Get rid of 1 now for the guarantee. Keep 1 for yourself, because, hey, it's always good to have 1. And keep 1 for an investment. If you can find a collector on the Player Store, on the Facebook group or something like that, the unofficial Facebook group, then chances are you could sell a Rachel for, 1 million, 1.5. I really, really don't see even a collector going above 1.5 for her. Could be wrong, and who knows? I mean, she might get a buff. That would be, I think, the first time a collaboration card has ever gotten a buff, but stranger things have happened. Anyway, so yes, Rachel, not currently meta-competitive. A lot of people have been trying, nobody succeeded so far. Hello, Kalpesh, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Next up, Hakumen, which now it's as low as 400k. Yeah. Because people grabbed it, they tried it, they went, oh my god, this is shit, word got around, Rachel's no good. And her price is really... it's not going to get much higher. Once we're like a month or so after this collaboration thing, her price is going to go up a little bit, just because nobody can get a hold of her at that point any other way than the Player Store, so people will be willing to spend more money on it. But It's never going to hit the lofty heights of like 2, 3, 5 million. Anyway, Hakumen, again, he hasn't really shifted. We said in the last live stream that he wasn't any good, and the meta has decided he's not any good. Way, way, way too expensive, and an inconsistent ability. You cannot guarantee that his ability is going to activate, because it has to be when he's attacked, and he's just way too easy to remove with a removal spell. Next up, and finally, is Vulcanhain R. Helsing. Again, hasn't really shifted in the meta. He was no good when we looked at him in the original live stream, and he's still no good now. Really ridiculously expensive cost, very bad HP stats for the cost, and an ability that is not only inconsistent, but practically impossible to activate, which boggles my mind. I really don't understand that ability. And his cost and so on and so forth. It is weird to me that this is even a card. Out of all of the cards, Vulcanhain is the worst, possibly tied with the wand, Aboare. But I'd argue that Vulcanhain is even more ridiculously awful than that Aboare wand, because there's just no rationale whatsoever behind this card. It is a bizarre, bizarre card. Do I always start streaming at the same time as today, Rayhan? Yes, it's always 3 p.m. GMT. It's usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm experimenting at the moment. So we skipped Tuesday because I had a really bad throat, and instead the next live stream is going to be on Sunday. Again, almost certainly at 3 p.m. GMT. That's British time. Okay, so what have we learned? Basic summarization. Current cards that are doing like super good in the meta. The top card is new. Number 13, she's the absolute best. If you don't have her, get her now. She's fantastic. She's really, really useful in the meta. She's not overpowered. She's not unbalanced. She's perfect. She just fits so nicely. Next up is Lichi Fei Ling. Really, really good card for dealing with rush and aggro decks. Iron Tiger is a very interesting gold take on Mistletoe. Bang has half the veteran community saying it's amazing or really good, and half the community saying it's not so great. Interfectum Malus is very good if you are good at prediction. Mukro Algesco, the freeze card, is very, very good. Pick that up. And Carl Clover / Nirvana is also good. Pick those up there. You're going to see a lot more of those. You're ready for a fight, are you, Neon? Have weird decks to try out. Okay, well, that's the 1 hour mark, so we will actually start the subscriber battles now. I'm going to try being the operative word, to keep this stream to 2 hours, because I don't want to, like, just my throat again. We'll see how it goes. But yes, okay, so that's the meta. If there's any questions, suggestions, queries, requests, anything like that, put it into the chat box now. And while we're waiting for people to do that, everybody who wants to get involved in the subscriber battle, post your IGN, your in-game name, in the chat box and or wherever it is on your screen, and yeah, basically, for everybody who doesn't know, the way that this works is that everybody who wants to get involved in the fight on the live stream puts their in-game name into the chat box. I will pair people off, or you can pair yourselves off if you like, and then 2 people will have a fight. I will spectate that fight and commentate over the top of it, and that way everybody can see some really interesting decks, some new strategies, some new gameplay styles. It's very cool. You won't be able to fight today, Cowpesh. Oh, I'm disappointed. You could try a fight, you suppose, Moth. You promised me that you would. You were going to try that deck that you showed me. Your friend request is still pending, Art. Is it? Because after the stream, when you said that you sent it to me, I went into the MABINOGI Duel thing, and 2 people had sent me friend requests, and I went, oh, okay, yay, and I actually did accept it. So, that's weird. I've accepted every friend request that's come my way. Bizarre. I'm not receiving your friend request for some reason. Are you sure you're sending it to me, right? The Arcadean, all one word, no underscores or gaps or anything, in a capital T, capital A? I don't You weren't going to use that weird deck, but you'll consider it, Moth? Okay. Alright, so Neon's up for a fight. Moth is apparently up for a fight. Hello, George. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. I'm feeling better. My throat's still a little bit rough, so I've been drinking tea for the live stream, hence the waistcoat. Going full English. Yes. But yes, we're feeling better. Okay, so we're into the subscriber battle phase now. Everybody who wants to get involved in, everybody who wants to fight live on the stream and have it spectated and commentated over, post your in-game name in the thingy, in the chat box. So far, Neon and Moth are both up for a fight. So you guys pair off, add each other as friends if you haven't already, and let me know when you are ready. I will open up the friends list here. Tea, nice. Yes, it was surprisingly tasty. It's gone cold now, so I'm back to my arc juice. Okay. Okay, so Jaybo's up for a fight as well. That's fantastic. Anybody who wants to fight Jaybo? In-game name is Sloth Lord. You want Arc Tea, Luani. Give you tea. Well, this tea isn't really Arc Tea. This is Earl Grey, I think, with a little bit of honey and a slice of lemon. You could fight anyone, Yellow Dragon. Okay, so Sloth Lord, Moth, and Neon will fight, and then Yellow Dragon and Jaybo will fight after that. Sound good? You gotta go dinner time. Okay, Tishna, enjoy your dinner. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. So, yes, Jay and Yero will fight after the Neon and Moth fight. Yeah. Arc Tea. Yes. Yeah, so I don't mind giving away the recipe for Arc Tea for people, but Arc Juice is still a closely guarded thing. Okay. Yero and Jay, make sure that you guys have added each other as friends so that we're ready to go straight into your fight after this one. And thank you to everybody who has sent me gifts over the past couple of days. I really appreciate it. It's really going to help out getting cards and things together to make more videos with. And a special thank you goes to Gioconda, who, as I mentioned at the beginning, has just been exploding my inbox with gifts. Which, again, I very much appreciate. Thank you. And while we are waiting on Sloth and Neon, I promised that I would add this petition link. Oh, you're fighting now, okay. I'm going to add that quickly, petition link quickly. It's a petition to get Neon, to get DevCat to get the PC client of the game up and running. Okay, so here we go. Sloth versus Neon. 2 mutants on Sloth's side, 1 mutant on Neon's side. We've got mana, light and dark, and gold, mana, and dark. Interesting, yes, red potion plus 50 recovery. Wow, Ajita right out of the gate, Sloth, countered by Hazama. Fantastic. We are already seeing some weird cards, and I love it. Let's see how this goes. Ooh. Okay, I'm just going to quickly enlarge Ajita for everybody who doesn't know exactly what this guy does, because you just don't see him. If the enemy in front tries to attack, and their friendly creatures on the battlefield, switches places. Okay, so Sloth charges up, deals a little bit of damage to Hazama. Unfortunately, thanks to Hazama's draining effect, that hasn't come close to killing the guy. And Hazama's about to land a finishing blow. So Neon charges up himself, gains some dark, kills off Hazama, gets enough experience to level up to 2. Surprise attack comes out, Sloth having none of that Hazama, and down he goes. Both players are ready to level up to 2. There goes Neon. Sloth follows suit, of course. Both players more or less equal in resources. In fact, I think they are exactly equal in resources. Neon charges and revives, pulling a creature out of Sloth's grave and hurting him a little bit. Both players basically neck and neck at this point in terms of HP and resources. So, let's see what Sloth's got up his sleeve, shall we? Oh. Thinking about it. Oh, that's tricky. Either thinking about it or lost connection. Anything is possible in this game. I just had to check my own internet connection, but no, we're okay. I'm okay. Someone's at your door, Moth. Oh man, that sucks. I look so handsome today. Is it effect of the tea? Yes, it could very well be. And it's or my waistcoat. So Sloth summons new. My apologies. Number 13. My apologies to all the Greek players. Summons number 13 and a flying sword. Okay, so number 13 is going to summon a second flying sword, and that is 3 creatures out onto the field. Neon responds with a Vampire Vera. Wow, okay. Let's open this. You like my hair. Thank you very much. So there's the Vampire Vera. Drains 12 HP from creatures in front, and an inbuilt sort of betrayal effect. Barbarian comes out to block the flying sword. That's very interesting. Flying swords both transform their attack value and then attack Vera. It's not quite enough to land the finishing blow, unfortunately, even with number 13's attack in there as well. But perhaps Moth has a holy missile that could be used to finish off Vera. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, so Sloth charges up. Creature summoned. And out comes Agita again. Okay. Alright. Thank you, Luani. Okay, so the flying swords do a little bit of damage. Vera is going to... Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Using the wand, and it was a rose bomb. That is very unfortunate for Sloth. That is one of the best possible results that wand could have come up with. Ouch, in other words. So, the flying sword gets some damage off, which is great. Unfortunately, that rose bomb... is it just sitting there? Oh, at the end of the next turn, yeah. So, Sloth's going to get a little bit of damage off, unless he can get this. Okay, thank you. Okay, I thought the Rose Bomb activated at the beginning of the turn, but no, it activates at the end of the turn. So actually, that wasn't as good as it could have been. Out comes another Flying Sword, and here we see the power of number 13. With those swords out onto the field, she is a real threat to be reckoned with. So, Neon's got a little bit of work to do here. He brings out a Potion of Life. Hey! Which is an interesting play, but a decent one. Okay, so the Flying Sword deals a little bit of damage to that Barbarian. Number 13 is just going to summon yet another sword in front of it. So yeah, quite interesting to see. Sloth charges up, just regaining his resources, which is exactly what he needs to be doing right now. Out comes another Flying Sword, and Neon cannot take another hit. He's got to shut this down immediately. So if he has an Area of Effect spell, now would be a really good time to use it, but doesn't look like it. Vampire comes out, Magic Missile comes out, and he's going to need to deal with that other Flying Sword. But doesn't look like he can. Yeah, well, we can't. Out comes the charge. So down goes that Flying Sword. But now all Sloth has to do is charge up. But he's not. He's taunt. This is just mean. None of this was necessary, Moth. Why are you so mean? Just charge and finish it. Wow, okay, I've never actually seen that before. Taki Grundy, blah, 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 pow. Okay, and Moth lands the finishing blow with the Flying Sword. All hail number 13. A good indication of what we were just saying about how powerful she is in the current meta. Nevertheless, very good fight on both players' sides. Awesome to see the Aboare wand come out, and the Hazama and the Vampire Vera. Very cool. Very cool. And very weird decks, honestly, on both people's side. Sloth running Agita, which is just, okay. Very nice. Very nice for both players. Okay. George is challenging people to a fight without any spell cards, which is interesting. If anybody was up for that, do let me know. That would be a very cool fight to spectate. The sword quote is from the Mabinogi game itself. Okay, interesting. You're just kidding. Okay. When it says that it enlarges itself, does it? Oh. Naughty. Okay, so it was Yellow Dragon and J-Bo were up next. Yes. Now I don't have Yellow Dragon as a friend. For some reason, it's just not activating. It looks like I either don't have Jay or Jay is not currently online. Not sure if Neon played the red potion because of me or not. Yeah. Fighting now. Yeah, unfortunately, J-Bo, I don't seem to have either of you guys as friends. That's very unfortunate. I don't know why. I could have sworn I did. Oh, let me just scroll back up and see what your friend name was. Your IGN name, rather, friend name. JBar21. I could have sworn I had you on my friends list. Yeah, JBar21. Okay, well, I don't have you on my friends list, which is unfortunate, but I'll add you now. JBar21. Confirm. Actually, I may need to delete somebody quickly. Hold on. It's actual arc juice, that red potion. If it was actual arc juice in that red potion, Neon, you would have won. You would have immediately killed your enemy. Okay, so La Fiction is last on the list, so I have to remove La Fiction. Sorry, La Fiction, if you're watching and you want to be re-added, just let me know. I will add JBar21 again. There we go. I'm already friends with JBar. Yeah, there we go. Not fighting at the moment, according to this. You have to discover the secret of that red potion. Good luck. Re-add you later to Yarrow. Yeah, I will. Honestly, post your in-game name in the chat right now, Yarrow, and I will send you a friend request because I don't seem to be receiving it from you. So just because I forget what your in-game name is, I apologize. Just post it in the chat box, and I'll manually add you myself. And then you and J-Bar have your fight, and we'll spectate it. I apologize to everybody. So unprofessional. Said the guy in a waistcoat drinking out of a milk bottle. Okay, Yellow Dragon. Yellow Dragon. Okay, there we go. And you are actually on my friends list. I should be on yours. And it looks like you're in a fight, so we'll quickly jump in and spectate.
Magicians and summoners,
okay.
The duel will start now.
Alright, introducing challenges. Oh, using the Knoll hero. Very funky. Very funky. Okay, so alright, so had one mutant. Knoll's thing drops down to 20 HP. No mutants on Yellow Dragon side. We've got Mana, Nature, Light, and Mana, Nature, Dark. Interesting. You gotta go sleep now. Time difference sucks, Rehan. I'm sorry about that. But thank you for stopping by the stream. I really appreciate it. Hope you can make it to the next one. Elf comes out from Yellow Dragon. Book of Knowledge comes out from Jay. Interesting. What is he ramping up towards? Oh. I'm intrigued. An eagle comes out, which is an interesting choice since there's nothing for it to actually hit. Intriguing. And Elf deals some damage to Jay, but not so much. Both players level up. The resources are more or less equal. Hunt comes out onto the eagle, just to deal with that high attack value. The eagle really, that can do a lot of damage. That can do a lot of damage. And will he bring out a creature? He does. New number 13. Not in front of the elf, which is quite interesting. He's hoping to aim for more just outright damage, apparently. So, yeah, intriguing. Okay, so. Kiss of the Succubus. Very interesting. Okay, takes it down to 8 HP. Oh, there we go. 8 effective HP. And then Notira's Needle. Nicely played. So. A fair amount of resources used up there, but Notira's Needle does pull some darkness resources back, which is fantastic. Okay, so the Flying Sword comes out, Knoll's ability activates, deals a little bit of damage to the elf. V30. Oh, wow, nice Interfectum. Nice Interfectum by J-Bar there. Completely shut down number 13's ability. Very, very cool. Okay, so Elf deals some damage. Flying Sword is still sitting in the middle. It's still going to do a decent amount of damage. The Goblin Bomb Squad comes out. Nature variant. Always very cool to see. Calpesh, don't get creepy. And, yeah, okay, so Yellow Dragons number 13 got kind of shut down there. Very cool to see Interfectum while it's being used nicely. Flying Sword keeps doing its thing. It will die to the Black Spirit unless J-Bar removes the Black Spirit, but he may decide that it's not worthwhile. So let's see. Discards into mana. Okay, and discards into light. So possibly another Interfectum in there. Deus Ex Nirvana comes out, which is very interesting. Once again, not in front of the elf, which is intriguing because if it had been played in front of the elf and then it had been killed, it would have wiped out the Black Spirit, the elf, and number 13. As it is, it just damages the Black Spirit, unfortunately. It's alright, Calfish. Just, you know, word of advice. Women get called sexy a lot. They get a bit bored of it. Eating biryani and watching the stream, Tishna. I'm jealous. I do love a bit of biryani. Okay, so the fields are being cleared out. J-Bar's HP is not doing too fantastically. But he's got enough resources, especially into light. Same sort of thing with Yellow Dragon, although mostly into dark. So let's see. Let's see. A discard into mana. Intriguing. A charge into mana. And a charge into nature. And a 9 damage output, which is pretty brutal. So if J-Bar doesn't have an answer to these two cards, and it needs to be a pretty strong answer, he's in a lot of trouble. So let's see. Unfortunately, not enough mana for like a Firewall or an Icy Spear if he had one. Okay, so Nirvana goes out in front of the elf. That's good, because even if it dies, it will take out the Black Spirit. It may, at this point, though, not take out the elf. That elf has actually hung around for a decent amount of time. I feel like crying. Oh wow, Arcadean comes out and is walloped with the Interfectum. That Interfectum has been doing a surprising amount of work. That is very cool to see. The Black Spirit comes out because Nirvana wasn't removed and deals the final blow. Nevertheless, my Arc approval medal goes to J-Bar for using Interfectum so effectively, which is very, very cool. But Yellow Dragon also played very well. Interesting to see an Aryabhata deck being currently used. Haven't seen that in used in high-end PvP in a couple of weeks, so it's always nice to see it making a comeback. Very interesting decks on both player sides. Very good plays on both player sides. Again, love that Interfectum. Well, beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, that Notira's Needle was really, really rough. That did a lot of work in that game. So, people who are watching, use Notira's Needle more. Very good, very good. Okay, so, now, George was throwing out an open challenge to people. You almost always have that card, do you? George was throwing out an open challenge to anybody who wanted to have a fight that didn't use spell cards. So if anybody wants to take him up on that, let us know in the chat. Other than that, if anybody would like to have just normal fights, again, let you know in the chat. You missed the whole stream, Monsieur. Oh, we're not quite done yet. But you can make up for your tragic absence, which is deplorable, by volunteering to have a fight. You'll fight again too, Moth. Okay. And use a less OP deck. I wouldn't have called your deck OP, honestly. You used Agita. Agita. And you still won. Good for you. You just got back. Okay. So, yes. How about Moth fights Miss Zero or Joseph, whichever one you want to fight as. Ashcroft. You want to do the no spells fight. Please tell me that's why you want to add George as a friend. Please tell me you want to do the no spells fight. You won because of number 13, Future Moth. Well, number 13 is a very good card, but it's not an OP card, as we saw there. For Joseph or Ashcroft, whichever. It looks okay. So it looks like Ashcroft and George are going to have a no spell fight. This will be fun. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I have George on my friends list. Before you guys have your battle, make sure that I do actually have you added on my friends list. I am pretty darn sure I have George, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. No. If you're doing the no spells, no Xena and Illurin's blocks. I'm going to have to add you, Ashcroft. Okay. Alright. Let me know your in-game names. I don't want to scroll up just in case. Yes, so George and Ashcroft, if you can both post your in-game names in the chat for me, just so I know that I have both of you added. You're YouTubing on your phone, okay. And then Moth is challenging Joseph to a normal battle. That's very cool. Hello, Romy. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you. When you kind of suck, so go easy. It doesn't matter, Ashcroft. It's all about how much fun you have. Win or lose. The game is very... Alabaster, is it? Okay, I'm Albaster, sorry, not Alabaster. I don't seem to have you, so I will add you. You would also like no spells, Joseph. Interesting, okay. Well, see if Moth is up for that, and then we can have like a double no spells battle. That'd be very cool. Alright, so I will remove Lion Live to add Albaster. Boop. You don't have a no spell deck prepared. Well, you have time now to prepare one, Moth. None of your excuses. Albaster. There we go. Okay, so I've sent you a friend request, Albaster. And make sure that I'm added. There we go. Okay, so it looks like you're actually in the fight now. And yes, Chinami. So, boom, spectate. Neon's also up for another fight, so... Anybody wants to challenge him? Challenge him. I'm gonna need some... Oh. We get kicked out? Yeah, we got kicked out. Okay. Wah wah. What happened there, guys? Okay, well, we'll wait until... I don't know what that was. A little bit of a glitch there. But we'll keep going until they're back in a fight. Everybody wants to fight everybody. That's fantastic. Okay, so Joseph and Neon are going to have a non-spell fight. Moth wants to fight again, but doesn't have a no-spell deck prepared. So anybody wants to have a normal fight with Moth? Post in the comments. I'll just keep doing this. Okay, here we go again. Albaster and Shinami. Let's hope this works this time. Yes, it works this time. Good, excellent. Okay, so we have Shinami up at the top and Albaster down at the bottom. 3 mutants and 2 mutants, and then Noah's, whatever her name is, I forget her name now, dropped at the bottom. Her HP drops. Wow, mono dark. Very, very interesting. Okay, so Albaster leads with a Cheshire, bold move, countered with a ambush vine. Very interesting. We're already intriguing. Oh, a light eagle. Good lord. Okay, so the light eagle comes out. That's going to really do a lot of damage to Cheshire, guaranteeing that the ambush vine is going to kill her before she manages to kill it. Unless she manages to do something interesting. Yay, Cheshire. Moth is already cheering for it. And it's been quite a while, honestly, since I've seen a Cheshire deck. So it's nice. It's very nostalgic for me. Okay, so we had a little bit of a network issue there, but it seems to be straightened out. A Dark Growth Vine comes out, countered by a Goblin Bomb Squad. Cheshire goes down, unfortunately for Albaster, but still has a Black Cat on the field, still has Growth Vine on the field, which probably will die to the Goblin Bomb Squad, but it's going to take a while. Cheshire's your favourite card in the game, Shimoth. Well, then I apologise on behalf of Shinami for her untimely demise. You rebuild your no spell deck, Joseph. Okay, cool. All right, so a lot of damage done to both players. Alabaster is down at 7 HP, which is a little bit unfortunate, but levels up. That's 9 HP, so he will at least survive this next turn. So let's see what Shinami does. Brings out another eagle. This is a punishing deck, Shinami. This is very ouch. It's kind of a creature-based control deck, this one, for anybody who's interested in the archetypes of decks. Alright, so Alabaster is going to have to pull out something pretty special. Basically, at this point, the only thing that can really save him is like a Dark Ice Spear. Oh no, I tell a lie. Hellhound. Very nicely played, Alabaster. Very nicely played. I mean, it's a shame that the Growth Vine went down, but we knew that was going to happen anyway. And this way, Alabaster just cleans the field. Very well played. Hello, Pegasus. Welcome to the stream. Nice to have you here, as always. Okay. So, Hellhound's on the field. Now Lady Share. A Dark Lady Share is out on the field. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's see how that pays off. Ifrit Furora. Okay, so between the Eagles and the Ifrit, very much a removal-based deck. And In as well. Always fun to see that. It was my first ever PvP top 10 deck used an In. So I have a very special place in my heart for it. Especially the special Christmas edition variant, which we're seeing here. Alright, so interestingly blocked. The In is now kind of safe in front of the Share. Can't hit it with a creature. And it won't die to Ifrit's effect when Ifrit goes down. So Alabaster is charging up, trying to get more resources. It's always the downside to monocolored decks, is that unless you manage to ramp up to where you need to be really, really fast, you do struggle very much with resource growth in the mid to late game. So let's see, does he have an answer? I didn't think that he had an answer for the last one, but he did, so let's find out. So levels up, all the resources go into darkness, giving him a nice little chunk there. Let's see. Which Xena comes out? Alright, interesting. But if Shinami has... well, you know, basically Shinami's ability on Ifrit activates, and that's going to be game. He's playing cards, he doesn't need to. Guys, don't be mean. Come on. And Ifrit comes out. Very well played on both players' sides. Very interesting decks on both players' sides. Very sort of slow growth and build on Alabaster's side, and then very long-range removal control based on Shinami's side with the 2 Eagles, the Tsubaki, the Ifrit. Very, very cool. Loani, why don't I open a channel and talk about love advice? Yeah, I'm sure that would be super popular. Anyway, well done to both Shinami and Alabaster. Very, very cool fight. Very interesting to see. And interesting decks on both players' sides. Okay, so we got a little... what's this? A gift from Siganteng. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's going to go towards cards, which in turn go towards videos. Okay, so who's up next? I think it was... I completely forget. 2 people going to do a no spell deck. Was it Yellow Dragon and Neon? Yellow Dragon and Neon. That was it. Okay, so if you guys want to get ready, I'll start refreshing this, and we'll see how it goes. Anybody up for a normal duel? Joseph is ready. So Joseph and Moth, you guys want to have a normal fight together, or you want to have... oh, you're ready for a no spell duel. Okay. Well, Moth wants to fight a normal duel. Joseph wants to fight a no spell duel. Neon and Yellow Dragon are going into that. A Warlords in a no spell deck would be awesome to watch. Oh my god, yes! Yes, I love Warlords. Oh my god. Somebody do that. Whoever creates a Warlord no spell deck and has a fight in this stream will be given A special Arcanaut badge. Yes! Tishna gets one automatically for the idea. Kalpesh is going to go create a non-spell deck. Okay, so Kalpesh and Joseph can have a fight. You should have known it was an ambush vine. Well, Neon and Yellow, yep, they're going to fight. Didn't fight Joseph. Joseph hasn't. Okay, so so Neon and Joseph are going to fight, yeah, because Joseph hasn't had a fight yet. Okay, Moth, you're going to make a Warlord no spell deck right now. Fantastic, and then you can fight Yellow Dragon in a no spell deck with it. As my fan, you think we should create an Arcadian deck, do you, Lonnie? I have no idea what that would look like. It would have to have the Warlords, Cher, Mad Technician Werner. It wouldn't even work. There's too many resources already. Kind of suits me though with the love advice. Well, okay. If anybody wants me to give them love advice in my waistcoat, I'm here for you guys. Event Arena was full of them, or Paralyzer. Monodeck, yeah. Okay, so wait, who are we spectating? Joseph and Neon. Okay. So I have both of you in my friends list, Miss Zero and Neon Works. So we'll just wait until I see that pop up as a fight thing. And then Yellow Dragon and Moth are going to have a no spell fight. I think that's what we arranged. Yes. But yes, Ashcroft, the event arena was full of a lot of mono decks, a lot of Xena, a lot of Allurin, of course. It wasn't really as interesting as it could have been just because of Allurin's current situation, and Xena's was just always going to be a thing. Somehow didn't receive my request. Well, I'm added. You're right there. You can see your name. It's weird. Okay, so Neon, you challenge Joseph. I'll just keep refreshing. I see Sickert's fighting at the moment. So tempting to jump in and commentate over one of his battles. It would annoy him so much. Okay, here we go. Neon spectating versus Joseph / Mr. Zero. Okay, so Miss Zero up at the top. One mutant on both players' sides. Miss Zero using the Awake hero. Fantastic. And a mono dark. Interesting. Neon using mana, nature, and light. Charging up. Both players kind of doing the boxer thing, circling around each other. Neon opens with an aggressive number 13. Interesting. You generally don't play her until level 2, but let's see if it pays off. Xena comes out now. That is interesting. Very aggressive turn 1 play from both players. A number 13 and a Witch Xena. Lich comes out, deals a little bit of damage. That puts 3 creatures on the field. Xena is going to target one of them. Which one will it be? The Flying Sword. That's actually the best creature for Neon that it could have hit. That gives Neon some opportunities, some options here. An interesting seal. I forget what the card's called because you just never see it anymore. There helps building up the darkness resources though. That's pretty cool. You gotta go, Loani. Okay, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Down goes Lichy, leaving Xena on the field with 2 of the hypnotized creatures. This is not great for Neon. Interesting. Out comes what? Guard Trefor. I like it. I've always liked Guard Trefor. He's very cool. Is this a no spell fight Yarrow? Yes, it is. Yes. So Xena wallops that, which is good for Neon. And discards a card into the grave. Is that to build up for something? No, discards another card into the grave. Now, interesting. Are we going to see some stone curses come out here? No, we can't because it's a non-spell deck, isn't it? So interesting. Again, I wanted to say like Gates of Hell, but it's a non-spell deck. So yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what Mist is saving up for here. R.I.P. the no Xena and Allurin rule hero. Yeah. Okay, so Xena's ability activates because the damage won't actually work yet. Xena is very powerful in these no spell in these no spell decks. Absolutely.
Leveled up to 3.
Okay, future no spell deck. The rule is no Xena, no Illurin, because it is ridiculously unbalanced. You would need to counter Xena with like a Scathach or something like that. Nevertheless, we didn't make that rule initially, so you know Miss Zero's completely within his rights to play it, and it is a very, very powerful deck. An L hero would be good to counter Xena. She would be all right. Eagle comes out. Again, it's not really going to help, unfortunately. Basically, the only way to beat Xena in a no-spell deck is to use something like Illurin, Scathach, you know, something like this. Something that can kill without dealing damage.
Powerful creature arrived. Powerful creature arrived.
Oh, Doom Machine Finale. That's what he was building up towards. Okay, that's fair enough. Double Xena? Really? That is just mean.
Lost a creature.
Cheshire beats Xena, but yeah, that means every one of these fights will be built around countering that. Yeah, we'll just say for future reference, no Xena decks, because otherwise we'll get into this big cycle of where everybody's trying to build their decks simply around countering Xena or Illurin. So future rule, no Xena, no Illurin. But again, we didn't create the rule originally, so Miss Zero absolutely within his rights to do this, and it does demonstrate exactly how powerful Xena can be when she doesn't have to worry about spells, which is why she used to be so good next to Nerva. People just tend not to use much Nerva anymore. And it's interesting use of Awake there as well. I do quite like that. With Xena being unable to die, Awake's ability, when it hits Xena, charges her up. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Kalpesh is ready for a no spell fight. Okay. Kalpesh can fight Yellow Dragon, because I think you both have no spell decks, unless somebody else wants to jump in. Yeah, there's not really much Neon can do at this point, unfortunately for him. Between the two Xenas and the Doom Machine Finale, yeah. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. So this should finish it off. Boom. Boom. Oh, not quite. 1 HP left. 1 HP left. Alright. Yarrow, you're going to fight Sloth and his Warlords. Okay. Alright, so yes. Yarrow, Dragon, and Sloth can fight next, and then Kalpesh can fight somebody else. Maybe Kalpesh versus Neon, so that Neon can show off his no-spell deck when he's not going up against a Xena. Really? Another Xena? 3 Xenas? Really, missed? Really? Okay. You are not earning friends here. Nevertheless, very good deck for laddering up in that event arena. Very good deck for that. So, well done to Miss Zero for winning, and yeah, very good deck for climbing up that event ladder. If anybody was interested in a no spell deck, that's the way to go with it. Neon, well done for fighting so hard. Neon gets my my badge of approval for slogging that one out. That cannot have been pleasant for you. That really can't have been pleasant. I sympathize. Ouch. Okay, so yeah, well done to both players. Neon can have another fight with, well, not another fight. Neon can have a no spell fight with Kalpesh and demonstrate against a non-Xena, non-Illurin deck. Next up is Yarrow Dragon and Slothmoth, or Sloth Lord, or Future Moth, or whatever username you're using right now. So we will refresh until that happens, and then after that, Neon and Kalpesh can have a non-Xena, non-Illurin, non-spell fight, and then we'll see after that. I'm gonna have to start making like a little chalkboard or something to keep track of all this. It looks like Sicket's finally stopped fighting. You always end up fighting each other, and you always lose. Well, now's your chance to turn it around, Sloth. I believe in you. And you too, Yellow Dragon. It has BlazBlue, no spell 2, no Xeno. Okay, Joseph, yes. Well, yeah, SP, literally no spell. Literally none. Okay, so another non-spell deck is pretty cool. We're turning this into a thing, which is always fun. All right, so let's see. Let's see.
Duel will start now.
What do we got? Okay, so yellow dragon up at the top, sloth down the bottom.
Additional resource.
Good lord, is that 5 mutants for you, sloth? That's impressive. No mutants on yellow dragon's side. Pure darkness on yellow dragon's side, which is interesting because again, we said no Xena. Oh, Chief of Staff Ash. Interesting opening play. Okay, all right. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Interesting removal. All right. All right. So Sloth's got the gold, obviously, for the Turka, the Tarka, sorry, blah, the nature for the Shurka, and light. What will we see there? Interesting.
Opponent chose to charge resource.
George believes in you, Moth. That's crying. 3 Xena and 3 Black Sheep hands is broken. You never have to worry about grave cost, Joseph. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Okay, Goblin Bomb Squad comes out. That's a good counter to Ash. Bingo, bango, down he goes. Yellow Dragon goes up to level 2. Sloth Moth, I assume. Yep, Sloth follows suit. Excellent, excellent. I keep saying Sloth Moth. That's the first username I knew Sloth by. Ash comes right back out, smack dab next to Dust. That's going to be awkward. However, there's no more resources on Yellow Dragon's side. So this was like an all-in poker play here. If this pays off for Yellow Dragon, he's got it in the bag. If it doesn't pay off, he's in a lot of trouble. All ashes and dust. How are you? We believe in you, Moth. And in Yellow Dragon. We believe in everybody.
Additional resource.
So Segi comes out. I don't think that's going to work, unfortunately, because I'm pretty sure Ash's removal is non-damage based. Yeah, so that wasn't going to work, unfortunately. Basically, the only thing that can kind of counter that is another Goblin Bomb Squad. Really.
Creature left on your battlefield.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other cards that could beat it, actually. Forest Genie, maybe, maybe not. Depends. Yeah. Okay. Christy comes out of that again. That's probably not going to work. If Ash targets down Christy, that's going to be problematic. Okay, so threw them down basically. Oh no, bad luck. Bad luck. That is really unfortunate. Yeah. If Ash had targeted literally anybody else, that would have been better. But yeah, the Ash and Dust combination, ouch. Very, very ouch. A shame. A shame. A couple more Goblin Bomb Squads, like a Nature variant, could have turned that around. But yeah, those two out in the field, they are unpleasant. They are unpleasant. So, well played to both. Maybe Ash should be banned too. Well, we can't just ban everything that's powerful, otherwise it'll just end up being a thing. But I mean, apart from it, this is what I've been saying because like every third time we have a live stream, somebody tells me to create a non-spell deck. This illustrates why we don't create non-spell decks. Spells are what allow us to mix things up. Dark has annoying cards. Yes, Dark has extremely annoying removal cards. Spells as well as creatures, honestly. But this is why we don't do non-spell decks. Okay, Joseph wants a battle, a non-spell battle, I'm pretty sure. So, let's try this one more time. Who wants to battle Joseph? Non-spell battle. No Xena, no Illurin, and try to stay away from gimmick decks. I'm not going to ban those outright, but just try to stay away from them because it tends not to lead to very interesting fights and everybody hates you, apparently. Okay, so Neon, Kalpesh, and Moth are all ready to fight. So, Kalpesh hasn't had a fight yet. So Moth, if you want to fight again, throw your hat into the ring, a non-gimmick fight. Otherwise, Neon will fight Kalpesh. No Xena / White Shark either. Non-gimmick deck, no spells. If you guys want to create those rules for yourself and you kind of like have a gentleman's agreement not to go for gimmick decks and things like that, then by all means. I'm not going to enforce it, but I would approve, I will say. Hey, Lucarcry, welcome to the stream. Yes, you could try the Warlord deck again, since you didn't get to see it at all. Oh, you're fighting Kalpesh right now. Okay, so Neon and Kalpesh are fighting at the moment, and then Moth is up for another fight, possibly, if anybody wants to go with it. Okay, so Kengi, Kalpesh up top, 1 mutant, gold, nature, dark, and Neon down the bottom again, 1 mutant, nature, mana, and light. Good! So, right off the bat, doesn't look like it's any gimmicks. Language, Moth. We are gentlemen here, you know. Oh, tea. Okay, so was it Neon starts out with his beloved Eliza. Always good for these non-spell cards. Out comes Lichy, jumps in front of Eliza. Interesting play. I quite like that, I must say. Okay, so Lichy's going to die, but that's not the point. She got Eliza out of the way. Ooh, Magical Beast Gorgon. Interesting, interesting. George is up for another non-spell duel. Cool. Okay, so maybe George and Moth can have another fight. So Eliza jumps in front of the Gorgon, which unfortunately does drop her attack value a little bit. Gorgon is going to petrify her, which is, you know, unfortunate, but it can still be okay. Could still be alright. Number 13 comes out. Our beloved number 13. We do love her so much. Warlords is a bit of a gimmick too if you think about it. Yeah, well, they're so difficult to activate. They don't really count as a gimmick, but I can see how people would say so. Light Eagle comes out, deals a little bit of damage. The Flying Sword is summoned. The Petrified Creature is just petrified again, because that's the problem with Gorgon. If it worked more like Xena, it would be a significantly better card. Joseph's willing to go another round, that's cool. Okay, so Ifrit comes out. Now that is problematic for Neon, especially with a vampire draining number 13's health. It will, however, when Ifrit dies, free Eliza from the petrification. So that's interesting. Interesting. Okay, so Joseph / Mist Zero is ready to go another round with no spells. Anybody wants to sign up with that, let him know. Alright, so a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage, a little bit of damage. Ifrit's going to do, yeah, a fair amount to those creatures, which is, ouch. Petrified creature gets petrified again. Goblin Bomb Squad comes out in front of the Flying Sword, which is quite interesting. Ifrit does some damage. The Gorgon's basically just locked itself into a loop. Vampire goes down. Now, if that Flying Sword / number 13 is not dealt with... Oh, actually, it doesn't matter. We are about to see a firestorm here, people. Kaboom! So everybody dies, except for Bang, and the Petrified Creature actually gets freed. So Eliza's back out onto the field with her full attack value. Very cool. And just like that... Kengi's field is cleared, and Neon has a straight shot. Goblin Shredder comes out, deals with Bang. The extra damage is painful, but Eliza now does 6 damage, equal to the Goblin Shredder, but Neon has HP advantage and a very strong resource advantage. Ooh, Nirvana comes out. That's gonna hurt in a non-spell deck. Trefoil comes out as a blocker. It looks like he'll be able to kill the Goblin Shredder long before the Goblin Shredder kills him. Nevertheless, that was a very aggressive play on Neon's side. He's obviously not interested in saving up resources, so let's see if it pays off, or if Kengi manages to clear the field. Okay, so discards into darkness. What is he saving up for? Hellhound. Alright, interesting, interesting. That's not going to kill anybody. So, yeah. I'm not really sure what the plan was with the Hellhound, but let's see if Kengi has an idea. Neon with his moving deck again. Yes, Neon does like his moving deck, and you cannot deny it's a good deck. Okay, so charging up and gains light. Charging up again, gains mana, and revives out of the grave, which, ouch, because he's using L, really hurts. Delete target, execute, lands a finishing blow. Very nicely done. Very well played on both players' sides. No gimmicks, no weirdness, no boring stuff, just lots of interesting cards. I like it. Seal of approval. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. And well played on both players' sides. I honestly thought Kengi had it for a while there, but yeah, then the Ifrit was turned against him. Awesome. But yes, good game, as always. Always enjoy watching Kalpesh and Neon fighting. Very fun. When your L hero betrays you, yeah, it feels bad, man. So hard to multitask between MABINOGI Duel and YouTube on your phone, George. Okay, so Moth's got a new non-spell deck to try. I can't remember this one. Everybody's just so eager to fight with these non-spell decks. It's awesome. I'm gonna have to like change the title of this video to just non-spell decks. And Kalpesh, a good loser. Always nice to see. Excellent. But again, very well played on both players' sides. That was a lot of fun to watch. Alright, so who wants to fight next? This is why you don't like Ifrit. She can be turned against you. Moth's got another non-spell deck he's willing to try. Lukaku seems to be kind of going like... Joseph is willing to go another round with no spells. Okay, Joseph is calling you out, Moth. You blame the event, it's making you test out the non-spell decks. You don't trust him. He's trying to redeem himself, Moth. Come on, everyone deserves a second chance. Kalpesh is going to create a new non-spell deck. Okay, Lukaku is going to play non-creature, so you look like a hipster. You were into it before it was cool. Only MABINOGI Duel, friends are so eager to beat each other up. Well, that and Smash Brothers, yeah. Alright. Okay, so missed 0, Joseph. Remembering the rule, no Xena, no Illurin, and it's not a rule, but try to stay away from gimmick decks. And Moth, if you're willing to give him another try. Another chance, well, not another chance, 'cause I don't think you guys have fought yet. But someone else want to play him. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter, Moth. Fight him. You'll fight after this fight, George. Okay. So somebody, let's say Kalpesh versus George after this Moth versus Miss Zero fight, which I'm now insisting on. Yep, 09's fighting. Again, tempting to watch. Whoops. Tap, Tron Drag. Andrew and Ark, you've got Mario Kart after the race is over. I remember Mario Kart not with the races in the battle mode. That was always... wow. I got really good at it at one point, and for some reason I started singing, I'm a cowboy, on a steel horse I ride, and I wanted, dead or alive. And that nearly got me murdered. Alright, I'm continuing to refresh. Moth is up for it. That's my boy. Come on! Neon's up for a normal fight. You'll be using a weird deck. Somebody be Neon's guinea pig. Okay, so after this fight, George and I think Kalpesh are going to fight with a non-spell deck. And then after that, Neon's going to fight with a normal deck, as in your allowed spells. Let's discuss the best Mario Kart. Well, for me, the only Mario Kart game is going to be the first N64 Mario Kart. I can deny it's the Wii version, because I don't like the Wii. I don't like its stupid controller. And I hear the Switch is having trouble. Okay, here we go. Sloth versus Mist.
Magicians and summoners, the duel was
Alright, let's do this.
your turn.
Alright, so Mist with 2 mutants, gold, mana, light. Sloth with 2 mutants, mana, nature, dark. Okay. This should be interesting. No obvious gimmicks here. Scholar right out the gate. Interesting. Countered with a skeleton, which is going to work. But yeah, now that's actually interesting on this side, using Scholar as a creature variant of the Book of Knowledge. Very cool. Sloth discards a card into the grave, nature card. Now that could be Ambush Vine. How do we feel about that? Do we think that Ambush Vine is a creature, or do we think that Ambush Vine is a spell? Comments in the chat, because that's actually a bit of a tricky one. Real pros use pro controllers for the Wii. Yeah. I mean, it's a good console for what it is. I've never really been into Nintendo consoles. They've always been more about the gimmicks than the games for me, and it just doesn't. Anyway, so number 13 comes out because hey, it's number 13, and we love her. She's great. The game counts it as a creature. Moth is a creature. That's fine. Yeah. I'm not saying that it was, it's not allowed or anything. I'm just saying that's interesting because it doesn't behave like normal creatures. Oh, it's your first stream, is it, Samuda? Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry, the chat's moving really, really fast. It's hard to keep up while I'm also commentating. Oh, okay. How comes a Magical Beast Gorgon? Sloth's playing hardball here, I see. For you, Tishna, Ambush Vine is a spell card. Alkir, it's a creature card. Yeah. There's some debate. I mean, I'm allowing it. Because it does have HP and all the rest of it. But yeah, it's interesting because it behaves like a spell, but it is a creature. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so bye-bye number 13. But also, the Gorgon's just going to keep punching into that. Oh, unless you use a Litchi. Nice. Move the Gorgon out of the way. Very cool. Lukaku thinks Sloth and Kengi are his heroes. They love Gorgon. Okay, out comes Witch Giorzera. Flying Sword, readjusts its attack value, but oh wow, okay, out comes Hakumen and Taukaka. Field Flood. Interesting. Okay, well the Taukaka's ability isn't going to activate because the Gorgon's going to petrify one of them. But that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so Taukaka becomes petrified, Giorzera kills, and turns into the dead. Now, I think what Sloth is hoping for is that Giorzera is going to kill one of the petrified creatures, which is going to charge up the Magical Beast Gorgon, which is very interesting. Mermaid Size to make the most of the petrified creatures. Wow, we're seeing some interesting strats here on both players' sides. I'm liking it. Okay, so Giorzera's ability gets shut down by Hakumen, who proves his worth in the non-spell deck, which is pretty cool. But let's see. Okay, so Taukaka just punches into Size, no big deal. The dead gets a little bit of damage off, but again, no big deal. Magical Beast Gorgon just petrifies a petrified creature, because that's his thing. But Size pulls it out of the way. Fantastic. So Gorgon's going to grab the, going to petrify the next Taukaka next. Interesting. Lukaku thinks we need more grave action. Yeah, so does DevCat, but they're just not giving us the right kinds of cards. They keep giving us grave manipulation cards, but they're just no good. But yeah, I agree. It would be cool to actually see. Okay, so Gorgon lands a bit of a shot. Mermaid Size lands a bit of a shot, and Gorgon gets charged up by the petrified creature's death, which is very good. Closure Mistletoe, very interesting. Okay. Deals a little bit of damage, not that much, but does get him out of the way. Spring of Memories comes out. Ambush Vine comes out and shoves the Gorgon out of the way. That's fantastic. Taukaka does a little bit of damage to Size, but not enough to kill it. And the Gorgon petrifies the Mistletoe. This is really back and forth, but I'm enjoying Sloth's method of bumping this Gorgon around. If only because I find it really amusing to think of things just pushing Gorgons around. Oh, and now Sloth brings out the shit-talking. How do we feel about that, chat? This is, after all, a place for gentlemen. Can't see, but I'm adjusting my waistcoat. This duel is getting out of hand. Yeah, it's getting really weird, but I'm loving it. Okay, so Gorgon kills the petrified creature because its attack value is now nice and high. Hakumen is still out onto the field, which is pretty cool. And Tsubaki Yayoi comes out far enough away from the Gorgon that the Gorgon's not going to petrify it. Okay, so Tsubaki charges up a little bit. We steal the... Oh my goodness. Stole the Spring of Memories.
Additional resource.
Okay. And yes, the Gorgon was going to petrify the Spring of Memories before its ability activated, so not perhaps the best possible play, but decent enough as a block, really, which may have been the point. Neon thinks it's a nice moving deck with Gorgon. Yeah, I agree. Very nicely put together. And both players not doing brilliantly for HP, but you know, it's coming together. Okay, so the elf comes out, but not in front of Gorgon. It looks like Mist Zero is basically just sort of acknowledging defeat at this point. So, well played. The elf gets petrified, but, you know, so it goes. And now comes the Nature Phantom of the Wolf, just to prove that this wasn't going to work out well for Mist, regardless of what he did. That is impressive. It's actually a very impressive Gorgon deck. I like that very much. It's not Warlords, which I'm very disappointed about, but very, very impressive. Good plays on both players' sides. Interesting decks on both players' sides. But yes, I think the common imagination was seized by this moving Gorgon deck of sloths, which did a lot of work, a surprising amount of work. That was very well played on Mist Zero side, very well played on Sloth side as well. Excellent, excellent duel. I think that was, that's possibly my favorite one of the day so far. Excellent. Yeah, how many monsters did you jack from him? A lot of monsters. A lot of monsters. Oh, wow. Okay, so. Now, I think we had, what, one more non-spell deck fight was arranged, and then Neon wanted a normal fight, I think. Vine is not a spell because it doesn't trigger Hidden Spider, Joseph. Good point. Good point. Okay, so Kalpesh is non-spell deck. Joseph wants to make a spell-only deck. Well, Lucarcry said he was going to build a spell-only deck to be a hipster, so maybe you can have a fight with him about that. So Kalpesh wants to have a non-spell fight deck. Who else wants to have another non-spell fight deck? We'll have one non-spell fight deck, and then Neon and somebody will have a normal fight, and then Joseph and somebody can have a spell-only deck fight if they want to, which would be weird, but okay. Elle only takes creatures out of the grave, and she removes both the Vine and the Hidden Spider. Fair enough. Fair enough. Obviously, the game mechanisms do view it as a creature, so it's a creature. No debate necessary. Okay. What are we saying? Alright, so Luke and Joseph are going to have a spell-only fight. George and Kelpesh are now going to have a non-spell fight. And Yero, Dragon, and Neon will have a normal fight. Okay. Okay. That's what we'll do. We have to write these things down. This is getting crazy. Okay. Alright, so everybody hold up. It looks like Neon and Yellow Dragon are ready to go. I did say that Kalpesh was going to be up next, but if he's not ready, we can do Neon and Yellow's fight first, and then we'll do Kalpesh's after it. So if Kalpesh doesn't respond in like 30 seconds or so, we'll just do Neon and Yellow's fight now. Unless they've already started. Let's just quickly check. No, they haven't started. Good. No response from Kalpesh? Okay. Lukaku is fighting. No, Lukaku is going to fight Joseph, but they have to put their spell-only decks together first. Okay, so no word from Kalpesh. So Neon and Yellow, you guys fight now, and then Kalpesh and George can fight after you guys. I'll just keep refreshing. Boop, 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 boop. In fact, nobody's fighting right now. Everyone's gone. Try not to spam damage spells if you can. Well, I don't know how else you expect to win, Luke. It's basically got to be Poisoned Arrow of Jonah, Arrow of Revenge, Slap, Lie Detector, I suppose. I mean, you could try doing interesting stuff with Summon Dead. That would be pretty cool. Turn it into a real mind game. Okay, so Yellow Dragon versus Neon. So, 1 mutant on Neon's side, no mutants on Yellow Dragon's side, Gold, Mana Light, and Gold Nature Dark. Elephant comes out, right out the gate. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay, so Kalpesh and George, you guys will fight right after this one, okay? Alright, so Neon doesn't answer the elephant, just takes it like a man. Okay, brings out an Angel, interesting. Restores the HP of all friendly creatures by 1. Don't usually see angels played aggressively, but interesting. Okay, gets it killed immediately. Immediately with a command hunting. That's unfortunate. Kalpesh, yes, right after this one. Okay, so Talkak comes out. One blocks the elephant, and the other one is far off to the right. Now, Yellow Dragon, what is it? Doesn't look like he can level up at the moment, so charges up instead. No, throws down a Tsubaki, an aggressive Tsubaki. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so the Taukaka are both going to attack, and their ability is going to activate. It doesn't look like that's going to actually kill anybody. Oh, unless we see a strong Phantom of the Wolf play rather than a level up. Very interesting. Okay. Alright, so did actually manage to kill the elephant, thanks to that special ability. Ooh, ouch. Tsubaki's ability herself activates and does take down that Phantom of the Wolf. That's unfortunate for Neon. Okay, so Neon levels up. Both players are now at level 2. The resources are pretty much the same. Both of them are doing well for HP. Yellow Dragon's got a creature out onto the field that is really going to demand an answer sooner rather than later. And out comes Rachel. Okay. G11 gets spawned along with her. That's an unfortunate position for the G11 to be spawned, because if there's an area of effect spell in Neon's hand, then it's going to hit the Rachel first, and then it's going to hit the G11, which means the G11 is not going to cause damage to the field. Whenever you're playing Rachel, always try to play her as far to the right as possible, so her creature appears on the left-hand side. For that kind of reason, although in this case it didn't actually make any difference. But that basically completely neutralizes Rachel now. You don't even need to worry about her. But Neon decided to block her anyway. Not necessary, but he might be worried about Yellow Dragon having an extra G11 or Nago in their hand. Discards into nature in order to build up for Itultmish. Wow, okay, I'll enlarge that for people that haven't seen this card yet. It's not common at all, which is a shame, because it's a lot of fun, but just not strong enough for the meta. But yeah, very cool to see Iltutmish. Ouch, Iltutmish coming out on Yellow Dragon's side. So, what are we going to see? A Holy Missile. Okay, so the Golden Bomb Squad actually does manage to get 6 damage off. A nice little double play by Neon, if that was the intent, and then gets blocked by a Golden Bomb Squad. So they're just going to kill each other. Iltutmish deals a decent amount of damage, 6. It's always pretty brutal. And what comes out next? A Drag to Hell. Okay, so that's going to kill literally everybody, because the Golden Bomb Squad's ability activates, and then the Drag to Hell has no other target other than the Iltutmish. Always a very powerful combination to use if all you have on the field is a Golden Bomb Squad in front of an enemy that will die to the Golden Bomb Squad's ability. I've always enjoyed that combo. Okay, so both players have really taken chunks out of each other. They both put a lot of resources in, but Still have a decent amount. Yellow Dragon discarded into Dark. Wow. In order to summon Brad Blackstone, a TBT card of the game you just don't see very often. So I'll enlarge the card so everyone can quickly read that. Oh. So, interesting. Very, very interesting to see a Brad Blackstone coming out onto the field. Let's see if it pays off. Okay, so Nirvana comes out, which is... Yeah, okay, so that's fine, because it's, I can never remember whether Brad Blackstone is like 3 or less or 3 or more, but it's 3 or more. So Nirvana's actually safe as far as Brad Blackstone goes. He won't affect her. And Neon's decided just to charge up. Resurrection from Yellow Dragon's field. The Golden Bomb Squad goes down in front of the Nirvana, which is fine. It kind of ensures that Nirvana is going to kill Brad Blackstone, though, because they're going to trade damage and then Nirvana's ability is just going to go kapow. So this will be interesting to see. All you need to do is like a little bit of damage to Brad Blackstone and Nirvana's guaranteed to kill it. Or if Nirvana survives another fight. Okay, so a big resurrection on Neon's side takes him down within Fatal for Brad Blackstone. So Brad Blackstone needs to be stopped or blocked. Okay, so the Angel comes out. Yellow Dragon doesn't have any resources here that can really stop the Angel. Well, couldn't before Nirvana died, but unfortunately Nirvana is dead, so a hunt or command hunting will do the necessary damage. That is unfortunate for Neon, because now Yellow Dragon just charges up twice, and Brad Blackstone of all cards, lands the finishing blow. Impressive. I don't think I've ever seen him land the finishing blow before. Nice game on both players' sides. You've got some weird cards coming out, and I love it. I love it. I always enjoy seeing those odd little cards. Fantastic. Well played to both players, Neon and Yellow Dragon. Excellent. Okay, so up next is Kalpesh and George. Alright, so when you guys are ready, jump into a fight. I'll keep refreshing until I see... Oh, you're already in a fight. Good lord, okay. I will quickly spectate then. Let's see if we can catch the tail end of this. And then after this is Lucarcry and Joseph. Alright, so... Alright, we are coming into this kind of like halfway through. Let's see if we can figure out what the hell is going on. Linker Elven Kiers, Angel Lord Perias, Bunnies. Yeah, we should have anticipated that in a non-spell deck. Bunnies. Yep. Yep. Okay. Tsubaki comes out, but without a way of dealing with that bunny, this just isn't going to work, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, speaking of gimmick decks, right? How about Bunny, the gimmick deck right now? You lost 3 fights today, Neon. 2 not counting the gimmick. Yeah, nobody counts the gimmick deck. Oh, and Tsunami forfeited, yeah, because there's nothing you can do against a Bunny when you have no spells and no, like, Skathak. Pardon me. Skathak or Seigi would shut it down, but other than that, no. Okay, so yeah, Kengi, Bunny, really? Come on, buddy. Be nice. Alright, so up next is Lucarcry and Joseph. Yes, Lucarcry and Joseph, who are going to be using spell-only decks. Brutal with that bunny. Kengi is never fun, so many bomb squads, and now this. Come on, Kengi. Be nice. Bunnies. Okay. Right, so Mist Zero versus Lucarcry. I have both of you on my friends list. I will just keep refreshing then until we see a fight coming out. Okay. Whew, you're not ready yet. Okay. How long do you think you'll be? This duel is why you'd run a Card Appraiser in any creature-only deck. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, between Card Appraiser and Brad Blackstone, you kind of got all the rarities covered. So that would be interesting to see. You know, a deck that was basically nothing but card appraisers and Brad Blackstone. Again, talk about gimmick, right? Only person fighting right now is Ashworley. 2 to 3 minutes at the most. Okay, well, we can wait for that. I'll just keep refreshing, so, you know, just jump into a fight whenever you're, whenever you guys are ready. I'll just keep refreshing it and keep an eye on it. In the meantime, if anybody wants to challenge anybody else to a fight, or wants to ask any questions, or make any requests or suggestions, please do so in the chat box, wherever it happens to be on your screen. The duel could last for another 10 minutes, but nah, yeah. There's no point in carrying on against something like that. Yeah, there's no answer to a bunny deck unless you kind of anticipate the bunny deck, and then you drop like a Sagi or something. We're going to make a second spell-only deck if anyone wants to go. Okay, I mean, if anybody else other than Lukaku wants to have a spell-only deck fight, let us know in the comments. We used to make videos. Let us know in the chat, and Joseph will fight you guys as well. But try not to make it like infinite slap or something. You were cheating, Kalpesh. You were. Shocking. You are demoted in the Acme now, Kalpesh. Who have I given medals to today? I gave a medal to Tishna for suggesting the Warlord no spell deck, and I'm giving a medal to Sloth for trying to run it and immediately getting shut down by a gimmick deck. In and healer, George. Yeah, I do like In. It's an undervalued card. I think it does have a place in the normal meta. Current meta is absolutely borked thanks to Allurin, but normally In does actually have a place. Just never play it below level 2 is always been my advice for Ins. In case anybody is watching and wants to play one. It wasn't specifically to you. What else? Tell me, chat. What else does do you guys think is an undervalued card? A card that does actually have a place in the normal, non-Allurin meta that you just don't see people running. Let me know. If it's an interesting enough card that you suggest, I may even make a video on it. Thras, I see you online, but I don't see you in the stream. Where are you? Why are you ignoring me? Having my feelings. My waistcoat weeps. You're still here, just not typing as often because you suddenly became really popular and got a bunch of private messages, Moth. You dog, you. Arya's crest. Yeah. Vampire Princess Marika needs a buff. That would be nice. All of the vampires getting a buff would be nice. Except for Shadow Vampire. Well, you can buff it a little bit, but don't put it back to where it was. Although it was nice to see Vampire, the Shadow Vampire, encouraging people to run the Vampire Hunters, which nobody does anymore. She has her own game, does she? Does she? That's cool. Alright, you're ready, Luke. As far as healers go, you love the Town Hall +1, one of your favorite cards. Yeah, Town Hall's good. Town Hall +1 is good. I do like those cards. The Town Hall, the Inn, Restaurant I'm not quite so fond of, but it's an interesting card, that's for certain. And then I think there's one more. It's Town Hall, Inn, Restaurant, and... I don't remember. There's another village card. I don't remember what it is. Let me know, chat. Okay. So, who was it fighting? It was Luke versus Joseph? Yes, Joseph, that was it. Yes. So Luke versus Mist Zero. Pub. There you go. Thank you, chat. Okay, to be honest, non-spell deck is getting boring to watching stream, Tishna. Yeah, we're done with them now. This time it's a spell-only deck, which pretty cool. And then we'll see if anybody else wants to fight after this. Otherwise, we'll stop because we're already way past time, and I'm trying to conserve my voice.
Magicians
You
and
people won't let
paladins,
me.
the duel will start now.
Town hall, inn, restaurant, and pub.
Your
That's
turn
right.
begins
Thank you.
now.
Okay, so everybody saying hi to everybody else, which is great. What is that? One mutant on Mr. Zero's side, one mutant on Lucarcry's side, gold and light on Miss Zero's side, which is quite interesting. Gold, mana, and light on
Leveled up to 2.
on Luke's side. Oh, okay. All right. So we're seeing a lot of very, very quick plays here. Spell on deck, slap for days. No, both players kind of agreed that they weren't going to do that. Okay, Gold Rush. We might be seeing an ultimate. Ultimates do count as spells. That would be interesting. Okay. So both players charging up. Trap in the Castle comes out. Always nice to see. Slightly dubious choice, perhaps, in a deck that doesn't feature, in a fight that doesn't feature any creatures, but interesting. Bandwagon effect. Okay, I am going to go out on a limb here and say that we're looking at something like an Ultimate Era of Dragons or something like that, I think, coming out. Something like that. Is the live stream still running, Deadpool? Yep. Yep, unless we're suddenly off the air for it. No, we're still good. Okay, so this is a spell only fight. We've been having some sort of like themed fights. We've been having non-spell decks, and now this is a spell only deck. And then one last fight, a normal fight with Neon. Okay, so charging up. The angry carriages are going to just smack into those traps in the castle. Spectating somebody's match. Yes, Deadpool. It allows people to see like a whole variety of interesting decks as well as a variety of playstyles. So the bandwagons go into there. Smack, smack, smack. It's always funny to see people using Cell Soul into instant death. Yeah, they're doing it less now. Okay, so Luke has leveled up to 3. Now he's going to have to do something fairly interesting. Discards into mana. Okay, so that's almost certainly a counterspell. I stream when you're sleeping. I apologize. Faith in certain victory to bait out the counterspell. Are we going to see an ultimate fire spell coming out next turn? Was that already part of the limited arena yet? No spells / creatures. Deadpool. The event arena is no spells, so we saw a lot of that. So people started using decks in the stream which were designed for laddering in there, but we kind of said no more of that because it was all just Xenas and things like that. So we had some really interesting non-spell decks. Okay, Trap. Oh, interesting. Trap in the Castle comes right out. Okay. Bloody Aurora. Wow. All right. Interesting choice. Possibly should have left that until next turn, because now Luke knows what you're doing and can just magic Gourd Bomb. Probably should have left the Bloody Aurora until the beginning of the next turn when the traps were actually ready to attack, and then it would have been a surprise. Nevertheless, very cool. I was absolutely convinced we were about to see like an Ultimate Era of Dragons or something like that. Or an Ultimate... I don't even know what the Ultimate Fire cards are anymore. They're not very good. Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay. So no ultimate spells. Charge. Alright. Also, I've just noticed that Miss Zero is using the Fene hero, which is... In a deck like this, you would have expected something like Tina. Just because, good chance of getting some health back, but... interesting. And Luke went for Noel, whose positive side of her ability only activates when a creature deals damage in a non-creature deck. So, again, quite interesting. You feel like this duel is going to take forever. Yep, probably, but we knew that ahead of time. The other gold ultimates would be wasted resources without combating creatures. Yeah. I mean, an ultimate Era of Dragons, that'd be interesting to see. Also, I mean, what was the latest ultimate fire thing? I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't want to look away. But it came out in
Now.
FODP? Must have come out in FODP. Just using your waifu hero. Right. You realize she takes 4 hit points off you, right? At this point, I suspect what we're probably going to see is Fene
Resource.
dying to her own ability.
Charged additional resource.
The Fire Incarnate one did. Well, yeah, that sounds about right.
Opponent's turn begins.
Okay, so rapidly cancel judgment.
Opponent chose to
And both players are now just throwing speeches stuff out of it. Yeah, summon Incarnated Fire.
the ultimate stand.
Luke. Hey, Ultimate Hero of Dragons. I knew I was right. Ha ha ha.
First agreement.
Price of love. Okay, there we go. I thought it must be an Ultimate Hero of Dragons or something like that. Come on. Had to have been. Alright, so does Luke have an answer? Doppelganger Trommer. Oh my god, he does. This fight is going to take forever. I love it. I'm going to put my phone down. It's burning my hands. I'm going to be here for a while. Oh my goodness, that is... Ouch. That is ouch. Summons monsters from grave in hand, does it? Okay. Vanished Thief's Book. Interesting. To summon the Wanted Dark Cat. Okay, I mean... And Mushroom Frenzy. Okay. Alright. Okay. Interesting. I mean, the Magical Gourd Bomb is just going to obliterate them, and there it goes. But, yeah, interesting.
Chose to charge.
Doppelganger Trommer, though. Youch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Youch, ouch, 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 ouch.
Opponent's
I have to say, Fenny's negative ability's not really been activating for Miss Zero, which is pretty cool. He just got pranked. Yeah. Okay, so more bandwagon effects come out. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so I assume that Miss Zero is using the Fenny hero to basically protect against the bandwagon. Goes another one. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I'm having so much fun. Does anybody get the feeling that Luke's just kind of being a bit of a bully? Miss Zero's like, look what I have! And Luke just goes, no! Oh, okay.
Charged additional resource.
Oh, it's fantastic. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. See what this duel is doing to me. I don't even like using love as a verb. And this duel is making me do it. Knew something like Hero Dragon would come out. No. Okay, well, here comes Trap in the Castle. So you know he's building up for another Bloody Aurora. So guess what's happening next? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with Gadgical Moored Bomb.
Chose to charge resource.
Oh man.
Charged resource.
Or Doppelganger Trauma, of course, that would also work.
Chose to charge resource.
No, just charging, playing it safe. Making Mist Zero just use up all of his stuff. Yeah. Okay, Yellow Dragon, you gotta go. Thanks for stopping by the stream, I appreciate it. Hopefully you can make it to the next one. Next stream's actually going to be on Sunday, 3 PM GMT, because we didn't get one on the Tuesday. It's a stall.
Accumulated resource.
No one is gonna move. Everyone's just gonna sit and just brace themselves.
Resource.
Going yellow. Sounds like an insult, Neon. Ah, he's gone yellow.
Charged resource.
I'm apologizing for at least the semi-gimmick deck. No hard feelings, I'm sure.
Resource.
Not like this. Yeah, I agree, Onizuka.
Resource.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Oh, this is just gonna be charging this stuff.
Opponent charged additional resource.
Okay, alright. Maybe I should load up some creepypasta and tell everybody a story while we, we watch this slowly unfold. Okay, so Flame Emission. Plus what? Bard Song? No, Bloody Aurora. Okay.
Resource.
That's gonna hurt. you're going to have ultimate holy spear. That would have been interesting, yeah, with the like both fields covered in trap in the castle, yeah. Okay, so bing bong boom. And hey, look at that, Noel's ability actually activates. Okay. Okay. This is the end. This is the end, my friend. Kabam, says Lucarcry. Apparently not wanting to prove that he's a good winner.
Opponent charged additional resource.
Can Miss Zero pull this out? Betrayal? No, he can't. Okay.
Creature.
A valiant effort at the end there,
Charged
but
additional resource.
unfortunately 'twas not to be. Lucarcry, the big bully, lands the finishing blow. Unless, of course, unless Fenny's ability activates like a billion times, which is a possibility. It's not likely, but it's a possibility. Let's see. Will Fenny survive? Come on. Come on, Fenny, survive. I just want this to keep going. Come on, come on, come on. No, oh, unfortunate for Miss Zero. That's unfortunate. Still, very nicely played on both players' sides. I really like that sort of aggressive, you know, bandwagon effect coupled with the Era of Dragons. That was a lot of fun. Then Lucarcry just sort of turtling himself behind the traps in the castle, just going, no, no, no. Very good fight on both players' sides. Excellent, excellent. Is a light command hunting 04 for 650,000 gold a good deal? It's a little on the expensive side, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, it's a very good card, don't get me wrong, but I personally, I wouldn't pay that much for it. It seems a little expensive. Neon wants to fight Deadpool. Okay, we got... You should have kept True Holy Spear, Joseph. Yeah, I mean, with the two traps in the castles, flooding the field, throw down a True Holy Spear. Game over. But still, very nicely fought. Very nicely fought. I like the bandwagon effect with the Era of Dragons. Very cool. Okay, so Neon wants Deadpool to fight him. This will be... Whoever Neon fights, whether or not Deadpool goes for this will have to be the last fight. We've had some really, really interesting fights, though, with the non-spell decks and the non-creature deck. Very cool. Some very, very interesting stuff happening. So, Neon wants to have a fight with just a normal deck. He's challenging Deadpool. If Deadpool doesn't want to go for it, if anybody else wants to fight Neon with a normal deck, spells and creatures allowed, doing the thingy. You bought yours for 300k, Neon. Yeah, that's a decent price. Hello, Kitan. Welcome to the stream. We're just trailing off at the end here. Okay, while somebody decides to fight Neon, we'll just do this. Oh, 3 gifts from Ashworley. Thank you very much, Ashworley. I very much appreciate it. That's all going to go towards cards, which in turn go towards videos. You should get going, Moth. Okay, thanks for stopping by the stream. I do appreciate it. And thanks for actually, you know, using your decks and fighting. Very cool. Good fights. And I will get your Arcadean medal to you for trying the Warlords with the non-spell decks. One addition you have to make is to replace Ambush with Night Invasion. Yeah, that would probably be better. Yeah, need more summoning spells. See you, Moth. Yeah, see ya. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody want to fight Neon? Come on. You can do it. I know you can. I believe in all of you. Yeah, there's only one more. Is there other cards to play instead of Elf, Elephant, Hound, Surprise Attack? They're in all decks. KBZA? I'm not really sure how to pronounce it. We'll just call you Lay. I apologize. There are replacements for Elf and Elephant. Hound honestly isn't used that much, so you don't need to worry about that. Surprise Attack though is kind of a staple. Instead of Elf and Elephant, you can go with Ambush Vine and Hidden Spider. Instead of Surprise Attack, I mean you really can't. You just gotta have Surprise Attack in there, really, generally. Are you gonna get going, George? Okay, thanks for stopping by the stream. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you can make it to the next one. Lucar Lights Fight. You mean let's fight, but okay. You'll make a greater spell-only deck for the next stream, will you, Joseph? Alright, well, I will look forward to watching that. Calpesh, should you fight? You can fight? Yeah. Calpesh and Neon, that's always a good fight. Want to do last deck, any type. Willing to do last deck of any type, yeah, if someone needs someone to fight. You probably meant Hellhound rather than Hound. Oh, you probably did. Hellhounds are just a solid card. I mean, you don't need to have Hellhound. You can have Vampire instead of Hellhound and Magician Masked Field and things like that. But Hellhound's just solid. Unfortunately, there are just Fights that are solid. Okay, so Neon is going to fight Kalpesh. Oh, I got another couple of things. 2 gifts from Albaster. Thank you very much, Albaster. I really do appreciate it. Going to go towards cards, which are going to go towards videos. So if you guys have any requests for specific cards you want to showcase, since you're all being so generous with the gifts, do let me know. I'll make sure to invest in the cards that people actually want to see. Currently, of course, it's all going to the Jin Kisaragi, which is turning up tomorrow. Okay, so Neon versus Kalpesh, or Kengi, as he is known in this thingy. You shall break the Latrix next duel with a no-card deck. Matrix, I assume, but yes. With a no-card deck. You're just going to sit there and be really zen. Fighting now Neon. Okay, here we go. Spectate. Okay.
Magicians and summoners, the duel will start now.
Alrighty, let's see. So, Kengi up at the top, 3 mutants, gold, nature, light, and Neon down at the bottom, no mutants, mana, nature, and light. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see. Normal fight, spells are allowed, creatures are allowed. Let's see how this goes. So, a light elephant comes right out onto the field. Yep. And wow, a level 1 Albi. Interesting. Unfortunately hammered into by that Shredder, but very interesting. Oh, wow, okay, and a mage 39 years old. Okay. So, 2 cards that are really generally only seen in PvG, and again, only usually played at levels, 2 and 3 and above. So interesting to see such an aggressive level 1 play. Albi and... Pardon me, juice is going down the wrong way. Albi and the Mage 39. Joseph, you want to have a Gen 1 only no mutants tournament? Well, we can do that in the next stream. Remind me about it. Flame Emission comes out, takes out the both of the creatures. Ouch. That's painful for Neon. Let's see how he responds. With a number 13, our favorite girl. Excellent. Okay, so that's going to summon a flying sword in the center of the field, which is going to very effectively block the elephant. Unless Kengi removes it, the flying sword's ability plus its attack damage is definitely going to remove that elephant from the field. So Kengi can remove the flying sword now, but that'll leave number 13, or it can remove number 13, but that will leave the flying sword. So, difficult decision. He's only got 1 action. Let's see how he decides to go with it. Discards a nature card into the grave. Okay, so could be Ambush Vine, could be Hidden Spider. Interesting. Banasser, hello, welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, this is the last fight of the stream. And it was Ambush Vine. Okay, that comes out onto Mage 39. That doesn't actually bother the Mage. The Ambush Vine is not going to come anywhere near to killing the Mage before the Mage comes out of paralysis and kills the Ambush Vine itself. In actual fact, I mean, that's not even going to happen, really, is it? The Flying Sword's ability is going to kill that. Ooh, Elf Hero Triss, the light variant. Not the +1, fortunately for Neon, but, yeah, still pretty ouch. So let's see how this goes. Nahuali, what's the best hero to use for PvP for use in different decks? That's actually a bit of a complicated question. Remind me after this fight is over. I'll go into it in a bit more detail. You gotta get going, Luke. Okay, thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. Remember, the next one's on Sunday this week. Okay, so Lich Fei Ling comes out, pushes Mage 39 in front of the Elf Hero Triss himself, which is quite interesting. That Ambush Vine is just getting beaten up by everybody right now. So a lot of discards. Are we seeing a Flame Emission? We are seeing a Flame Emission. Out comes the Flame Emission. Down goes that entire row, which is, yeah, that's unfortunate for Neon, because that's going to do a fair amount of damage. Kengi's still kind of on the back foot here, but, oh, and there he goes. Yep, the Holy Missile onto the Ambush Vine, freeing up the Litchi, who will land the finishing blow. Now, I haven't actually seen her dialogue for landing the finishing blow before. She generally dies pretty quickly, so this will be a new experience for me. Better luck next time. Okay, so it's kind of a generic thing, but cool nonetheless. Very well played on both players' sides. A very unusual deck on Neon's side. A kind of a variant twist on the Light Elf Hero Triss. On Kengi's side, Interesting decks. Well played by both players. Very good going. Very good going. Well done, Kalpesh. Well done, Neon. Okay, so quickly then, to answer Nahuali's Chanel question, what's the best hero to use for PvP in different decks, or do you just need to adjust your decks to make synergy with the hero of your choice? The hero that you use should either synergize with the deck, so build the deck first. The hero is kind of like the cherry on top of the cake. It's not what you build around. Unless it's Pillion, in which case there's this very specific deck you can build with him, but it's very complicated and extremely expensive. So, the way that it works is the hero should really be the cherry on the cake, and it should either be used to synergize with the deck, although not many people do that these days, or it should be used to counter current meta, which is what a lot of people use it for nowadays. The most popular hero, and one that you can't go wrong with unless you're using a resurrection deck, is L, because she completely shuts down particular gimmick decks like Gates of Hell by forcibly pulling your enemy's creatures out of the grave. But feel free to use the neutral hero, just the Remiel and the female Remiel variants, because you don't need a hero with a special ability. You can absolutely get into top 10 and even champion just using the neutral hero if you want to. But yes, those are kind of the 2 points. Either something that complements your deck or something that shuts down current meta or gimmicks. It's your veteran arena deck. Only top 20 those. Only top 20. Oh, humble brag. Seriously, no. Top 20 in veteran is good. Yesterday was your birthday. Nobody wished you happy birthday, Kalpesh. I do apologize. Happy birthday, Kalpesh. I hope you got a lot of presents and some very nice cake. You just returned to the game after being out of it for 6 months. You bought a bunch of collab packs. What else should you do? Alkir. Nino. Neon. What should you do? For the collaboration packs, make sure that you have at least 2 copies of number 13. Make sure that you have at least 2 copies of Mukro, that you have Iron Tiger, Carl Glover, Nirvana, Interdictum Malus. Those are the most important collab cards out at the moment. Make sure you have all of those. Apart from that, anything that you were using 6 months ago will still more or less work now. Just be aware that in the PvP, the current dominating meta is Elurin, a card who plays, and then at the end of the turn she's played will automatically kill the creature who's in front of her. It's really, really annoying to deal with, so just make sure you have answers to that. Good night, Kalpesh. Thanks for stopping by the stream. And you're going to go to sleep as well, are you, Neon? Okay. Night. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. Remember, next stream is Sunday, 3 p.m. because we didn't have one on Tuesday because my throat was killing me. Hence the tea and my waistcoat today. You opened 17 boosters for Alucard and didn't get her, almost quit the game. Well, that's a shame, but she's not a good card, so you're not really missing out on anything anyway. Okay. I'll just quickly pop open the BlazBlue, just in case anybody is interested in looking at the collection. There we go. Tuesday is your birthday, is it, Joseph? All you're asking for is for cash from your estranged father so you can buy Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD Special Edition just for the Wolf Link amiibo. Wow, okay, well, good luck. I hope you get it. And you have 227 gems waiting for Jin. I have, like, a lot at this point. Everyone's been really generous with the gifts. I really do appreciate it. You open, like, 60 boosters for Ragnar. And 0 gets, yeah. Yeah, RNG is rough. Still, you can get Rachel for a pretty decent price now. I think Neon said that he was seeing it in the shops for about 400, 500,000. Her price is dropping very, very quickly because she's not a very good card. Same thing with Ragnar. You can get them for relatively cheap on the player store at the moment. You ended up sticking around anyway, Moth. Okay, good stuff. All right, so before we finish, I'm going to link 2 things into the chat. The first one, there we go. This first one that I'm linking now is a link to a petition that Joseph set up otherwise known as Mist Zero, in order to encourage DevCat to finally release the PC version of Mabinogi Duel for the English-speaking community. Because there's a Korean version, but there's no English version, which is unfortunate. The other thing that I am going to link now is the Arcanauts Discord channel. There we go. And I'll put that in here as well. That's the Arcanauts Discord channel. This is the most reliable way to get in touch with me, keep in touch with me, talk to me outside of these live streams. And I go into a lot more detail in things in the Discord channel. I'll announce like ghost videos that I'm putting up, ghost streams that I'm doing, things that don't get announced normally. And it's also where you go if you want to actually play anything with me. If you want to challenge me to anything or do any co-op with me, that's where you go. So go to the petition, do sign it. Every little helps, and go to the Discord as well if you want to. Hang out, chat, don't chat, lurk. It's all good. Okay, so we will wrap up there. I was hoping to keep this to 2 hours, and as usual, it didn't work. In the next, let's say, 3 minutes, if anybody has any questions, requests, suggestions, anything at all, let me know, and yeah, we'll discuss it. Otherwise, we'll just kind of drift silently into obscurity. You're definitely checking out the Discord, Will. Okay, well, I'll look forward to seeing you in there. It's not super busy at the moment, but more people to get involved, more people to chat, the more involved I'll get in it as well. What will be a good support for a deck with Hakumen? Ooh, Hakumen is not a good card, unfortunately. Very, very inconsistent, very, very weak stats. Very, very expensive cost. If you were going to use Hakumen, you would have to use him with counter spells and possibly Nedava. Unfortunately, both of those are pretty easy to counter at this point in the meta. It will be tricky. But if you really do want to use him, try counter spells, try Nedava, try Black Knight. That might also work. And yeah, let me know how you get on with it. Dark Knight, but Black Knight, not Dark Knight. Dark Knight's a different... The Dark Knight is a different card, but yeah. And he's also Batman. But yes, Black Knight's okay. He doesn't protect against untargeted stuff like Command Hunting. He doesn't protect against Mukro. Black Knight doesn't protect against area of effect spells like Flame Emission and Ice Spear and things like that, so... Black Knight is okay, but he's not brilliant. So you can blame that crazy spell duel for the overtime in the stream. Yeah, that turned out to be... well, I mean, the spell-only duel went on for a bit of a long time, but honestly, the non-spell decks turned out to be surprisingly popular. I am literally gonna have to rename the archive of this video to, a non-spell deck showcasing. Hello, Elephant. Welcome to the stream. You recently started getting the game again. I love my videos. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Really just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. I'm not being sarcastic. I have that accent. But no, I do appreciate it. And welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, we're at the end of it now. Tried a deck of discard cards, but it's inconsistent. Any suggestion? Right now, you can't create a good grave cost / milling deck. But don't... fret, because it does look like DevCat is really trying to push the whole grave manipulation aspect. And they've been talking about new mechanics that they're working on for the new generation of cards that's coming up pretty much any time now, really. Probably it's going to be like a week after the end of this collaboration thing. And I suspect we're going to see a lot more grave manipulation cards coming out in the next generation. So it may become much more viable then. You'll have to watch the archive, Elephant. Yes, you absolutely will. And leave a comment and join in the Discord, which I will link one more time for everybody. Copy that. There we go. And there's the Discord thing. How come he needs a buff? At least make him seal abilities before he damages. Yeah, but in the entire history of collaboration packs, DevCat have never once buffed a collaboration card. They've nerfed 4 of them in the entire history of the collaboration stuff, not counting C1, which doesn't count, but Mistletoe, Ash, Dust, and Karam, they've nerfed. Everything else they haven't touched. No buffs, no other nerfs, so it's unlikely. unlikely that they're going to adjust any of these collaboration cards, unfortunately. Because some of them are so close to being so awesome. Trinity is so close to being so awesome. If she summoned the cats on your side of the field, that would be amazing. But so it goes. So it goes. And her wand is just terrible. I don't know what that is. What's Discord? Discord is kind of like what you're doing here. It's a chat thing that you can access either on the internet, like web browsers, or you can download a very small free client. You can use it on your phone as well as on your desktop, your laptop, anything you like. And it's where we all chat. It's mostly typing chat, but there are voice channels if anybody wants to actually speak to me directly. A few people do. Moth and I often talk on chat, and we play other games together. If anybody else wants to get involved in all that, let me know. Did I already mention the Deadpool? Did I already mention the Deadpool? Yes, I did. Petition. I already mentioned the petition. I've linked it 3 times so far. I'll link it one more time. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for stopping by the stream, Alkir. I do appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of you guys. It's so nice to just have people come along and show interest. So thank you very much. Yes, so I will link the petition again. I'm using the Google URL shortener because it's a huge URL. So there's the the thing, the chat, I don't know what I'm saying. The petition, there you go. Yeah, so I've linked it a number of times throughout the stream. The chat is all on the actual screen itself as well, so anybody watching the archived footage can just copy the URL into their web browser. Yeah. So fingers crossed. I mean, you know, petitions. How often do they work? Not often. Nevertheless, there's an exception to every rule. Hopefully this will be one of the exceptions, because it would be so good to be able to do this on the PC and not have to... I mean, look what I have to do. Look at this. Look at this. Cables everywhere. Special software. It's boiling. So, yeah, it would be nice to be able to play this on the PC where there wasn't the lag, there wasn't the overheating, I didn't have to use like 3.5mm audio jack cables and all this kind of nonsense. That would be so nice. Okay. Alright, I'm getting to the end of my ARG juice. I already finished my tea. Not enough people are complimenting me on my dapper waistcoat, so I'm going to run away and cry a little. No, seriously, that's the end of the stream. That takes us to 3 hours exactly, an hour longer than I was expecting. My poor throat, etc., etc. Feel pity for me, shower me with gifts. So, thank you to everybody for stopping by and watching the stream. I really do appreciate it. Everybody is just fantastic. You just use Memu for emulate on the PC. Yeah, I hear a lot of, like, it's not very well optimized, so the lag is quite bad. But yeah, emulators are a thing. Anyway, yes, thank you everybody so much for stopping by the stream. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who got involved in the chats and the fights and everything, with the suggestions and all the rest of it. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Can I make a video about all the technical stuff I use? Absolutely. Yeah. If there's any interest in it whatsoever, sure, leave a comment in one of my videos if people want to see that. Yeah, I'd be happy to. And yes, that's it. So, yes, one more time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for getting involved. Thank you so much for fighting. Next stream will be Sunday, 3 p.m. GMT. That's Britain time, so adjust for your own time zones. If you'd like me to make it a little bit earlier or a little bit later, let me know. Discord, Facebook, Twitter. And I'll see what I can do. It's the weekend, so I have a lot more sort of maneuverability. Before I go... you can talk to me on Discord, you know, Moth. I'm gonna have to say the goodbye thing again. You're just teasing me at this point. I'm aware of it. I'm ignoring you. Talk to me on Discord. Everybody talk to me on Discord. I need to clean up and then I'll be back onto it in like 5 minutes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting involved. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for fighting. Thank you for everything. And a special thank you to all the Arcanauts who have subscribed so far. You guys, medals for everybody. Love you all. And remember, until next time, have fun and good luck.
It's that amazing.